go like, do you want your face on camera?
I'm okay with it.
Okay. You already know me. I'm Melinda NailFanatic. I'm back. Surprise interview with Zephaniah. I just met Zephaniah today. You're going to watch me do his nails, and we're having such a type of conversation that God was like, Source was like, Universe was like, your angels, you was like, please go live. I need to hear this. And so here we are live. We're about to do these nails and continue this conversation. And we were just talking about one of Zephaniah's amazing gifts, which is the ability to see where a person is on their timeline. And we're just going to talk. I'm not going to address you guys no more. I'm not going to address you no more. I'm going to have my conversation. Be glad you get to spy. Okay, I love you. So, okay, tell me more. Keep going. Where we at?
Where were we at?
I was like, okay, so you were saying that you've never heard anybody else talk about that before.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So with soul gazing, it's a very, very intimate ability.
Mm-hmm.
It feels as though I am not only looking through their eyes like a window, but like I am becoming them. So I can feel their pain, I can feel their happiness. It's like a confirmation that we are all the exact same person or thing or source, because I can feel it so deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's always been accurate, I will say, and not even to just like to brag or to boast or anything, but
Right.
just to explain the extent that I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always beautiful, even the sad parts.
Mm-hmm.
It made me understand that life is a beautiful thing. We get to experience so much, and I'm scared to do it to myself, to look into my own eyes and see the future, but it's only because I don't want to ruin the surprise.
So I love that you just said that, okay? Because I was just telling you that I just had my birthday, right?
Yeah.
And so I knew they were throwing a surprise party for me. I know they were throwing a surprise party
It's
for me.
always great.
And I told my lady, I'm like, listen, lady, are you having fun trying to throw a surprise birthday party for a psychic? Because you know I already know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
She would just laugh and try to play it off.
Like, what? No.
And you know what I told her? I was like, the good thing is, Source knows, God knows that I love a good surprise. So he's not going to spoil it
the
completely.
whole thing, exactly.
So they're giving me that for you right now, which is like, yeah, baby, you're going to be able to see some stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
They will never ruin the surprise. They'll never ruin the surprise. Anything that you're shown, anything that you're allowed to see, anything that because remember, ultimately, it is you that is allowing you to see.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
you know what to show and what to keep a secret.
And I feel pulled to share this. In
Please.
One of my darkest moments,
Mm-hmm.
I got the glimpse into the future,
Mm-hmm.
that made me so happy, so purely happy to continue to be alive, that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull myself out of this depression, out of these suicidal ideations, and I'm gonna lock in, and I'm gonna choose to be happy, and I'm going to choose to radiate at a different vibration, and to really just continue on, and I did.
I'm glad you did, honey, because that's a part of what helped you get here to have this conversation with me. And now you've touched on something that for me has been so significant in my life, because I am a survivor of suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, clearly you don't know me shit from Sherlock, but yeah, I watched my father burn himself to death when I was 15. Talk about a catalyst. That was the catalyst to this.
Yeah.
To where I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to all that energy that you see that I be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you didn't choose that path. And I've been able, through going through that, like in that experience, there's so much trauma and pain there, but I was able to transmute, evolve, what's the best word? Why are they giving me the word transfer? That's a different one. Transfer from the anger position into empowerment. And you know what did it? I found the way to be grateful for my father committing suicide in front of my face and my whole school and my sister and my mother. Mm-hmm. And burning himself to death in front of us. I found gratitude in that. Mm-hmm. And that was like the major release. Yeah. So I'm always telling people, like, I don't know what the big hurt is that fucked up your life. That's what I used to call his suicide. It was the thing that fucked up the rest of my life. Until I found gratitude for it. And it was just a guided thing. It was very, like we were talking about being claircognizant, very claircognizant came through. And then, you know, how the universe uses everything to show you. When you are perceptive, every song, every movie, every person, everything.
Number.
Every number, yes. Please don't look at the fucking phone and see what time it is type of shit, you know? How's that length look, baby?
I like it.
You do? Okay.
I do.
All right, good. We want to make sure. It's funny, a lot of my psychic abilities was trained through doing nails, though, because I would be sitting here doing somebody's nails, and you know what, I fucked up with it just yesterday. And I was like, you know, I should have known better, because the girl wanted a third coat on her toes. I had to buff off the top coat and put a third coat on her toes, but I knew it when I put the second coat that she was going to want a third coat. I heard it. Did I listen? I still didn't listen. Do you do that? Do you hear it and you still don't fucking listen?
I will hear, oh, don't turn this corner. Like, I play a lot of video games, and I know this is silly, but
no, it's
I
not.
play a lot of video games, and I am good to the extent where I'm highly ranked on my specific video game, right?
Okay.
And it's because a lot of the times I listen, but those times I don't, I'll be like, don't turn that corner. You're gonna, like, die in the video game if you turn that corner. And what happens? I definitely die.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
Or even just small things like, oh, you better slow down. Like just a whisper in the back of my head. I'm not even doing like the speed limit. I'm going a little under. It's like, you better slow down. This person stomps on their brakes as hard as they can. And I'm luckily, thankfully, all the way back. I always try to listen whenever I feel like it can actually, you know, hurt.
So, yeah. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, that was pretty much it. But yeah, no, I also do not listen a good amount of the time. And I can say I should.
Right. So what they showed me about that and why we do that all the time is because the voice of spirit is so freaking subtle. It's get used to the sound of my voice. Know when it's me speaking to you. So what I was literally shown years ago was, yeah, we do that and we do it because we know you're not going to listen. But what's going to happen is the next time we whisper at you the same way, it's going to be more likely that you will listen. And then they're like, and we're using these situations that don't really fucking matter. So when it really does fucking matter, you're going to be like, hold on, I had this experience. This reminds me of that. Okay, let me listen this time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, man.
It's like lessons before you have the final exam.
Right. Right. Absolutely. It's like, this is your daily pop quiz. What are you going to do with it today? Did you get it? Do we need a review again?
Okay, one more time. You got this.
Yeah, and there's always one more time. I love that there's always one more time. And then you were talking about, okay, back to the timelines thing. Like, so I just did a personal reading for one of my viewers today. And she was trying to get her angels to tell her what decision she should make about her personal life situation. And what came through the reading was, you can't make a wrong choice. You're always going to be guided, and we're always going to be able to come to you and help you through whatever choice you make. And with her, it was very much, just make a fucking choice. Which choice do you want to make? We're not going to force you to do this. We're not going to tell you to do that. You need to choose for yourself, and then we will step in. And they always, whenever this kind of message comes out, because this is not the first time I've heard this, they show me this scene from this old, you might not even know it, baby, is 19 years old. You ain't even a 20 thing yet. I can't even call you a 20 thing. But the old Indiana Jones movie, I think it's a Temple of Doom. I don't know, but as he's trying to,
movie.
Okay, cool. So he's trying to find his way in that. And he's standing on one side inside the cavern, and there's no path.
Yeah.
And then he throws a stone, and the path is revealed. And they're like, yeah, just shoot your shot, baby. Shoot your shot, and the path will be revealed. And then they've also, in conjunction with that, they always show me, like, when you pick up your foot and you go to put it down, the ground forms underneath it.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to me how you can see the different timelines. And I was just having a conversation very similar, because it's like whatever choice you would have made would have influenced what come next, but spirit is always there to support whatever choice we make.
Exactly.
Wow. Who knew? So my grandsons have been bugging me to go get Snappy Burger forever. we live very close. We live right around the corner from here. So clearly we're very close. But we haven't. Like, no, we're not going on. Today it worked out. My lady, I had just finished asking her no less than 3 minutes prior to pulling up a Snappy Burger. Do you want to have burger? No, I don't want burgers today. But the grand Snappy Burger! Snappy Burger! I was like, this was what I was going to do before you said sushi. So we didn't go have sushi. We went to have Snappy Burger, and look at this.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, they going to watch this. They going to watch this. And I didn't put no title. So anybody who's watching it live, like, there's this thing where it's like, your energy is so protected, it's so safeguarded, it's so secure that only those, it's just like the nail business. If they're not meant to see it, they're not going to see it. They might see it years from now, but the ones that really be on the live, you know it's something special with them.
Yeah.
Because they're meant for them in the moment. They're in the moment. In the moment with us.
Exactly.
It's crazy. But it's normal. It's normal.
Yeah.
The craziness is normal when you're that aware, when you're that open to perceive.
And while we were talking, I could feel my third eye chakra just slowly vibrating a tiny bit more.
Love.
It's
Love.
like, oh, time to wake up. You've been a little bit too asleep for a little bit too long. Let's start reactivating. Let's jump back in.
Okay, so I got something juicy for you. I never have to reactivate. I never have to jump back in. I never have to invoke, call upon, call them in. You know, a lot of people, when they do spiritual work, they're calling their ancestors in. I call on the four winds. I call on my angels, ancestors, and gods, and all that stuff. I don't do none of it. Because it's never off. It's always on.
Yeah.
It's always on. So I was having this conversation with a friend of mine from my sophomore year. She kept saying, I don't know. And so I offered to do a reading for her. So I'm doing the reading for her. I have all these things. You know when you're getting these downloads, because it's like a million things to say comes in 1 second. It takes forever to break it apart into linear conversation and put the right words to it, right?
And that's because spirit knows no time.
Correct. It's all happening simultaneously, and you just get this. That's why I call it a download of a chunk of information. It's like a whole crate of information, sometimes it's like a whole shipping container of information at once, right? So that's what's happening. I'm talking as best as I can linearly, you know, word after word, and then all of a sudden, blank. My brain was like like I was inside of a white cube. Not box, not room. There was no windows, there was no doors, there was no nothing. It was white. I was inside of a white cube, and it lasted for a good 10 seconds, and I just remember thinking, what the fuck is going on? Where did all the information go? And I'm having this conversation in my mind with myself and God and universe, whatever you want to call it, and it's like, where did everything go? Where did everything go? There was so much here. Now there's nothing here. And I remember that there was this part of me that's like counting it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was about 10 seconds. And then all of a sudden, it was like, you know, in the movies when you hear all the generators power on and everything turns on. And then all the information was flowing again.
Yeah. It's like you took a break. It's like pause.
That's the only time that's ever happened in my life.
See, I like to stay in a state similar to that because I guess it's maybe some type of fear. I think fear is, obviously, it's a blockade. It's something you use to defend yourself. And I think that I built it up because I didn't want to be seen as too different. But then after a while, I realized that's kind of crazy. I want to be crazy. I want to be different because that's what my soul's purpose is to be. I'm meant to be this light. So now I'm trying to unlearn the habits of keeping it all shut off. Because a lot of the times I have myself, and it's not a white room for me. For me, I made my own little space in my brain, and I made it protected from every energy that I don't want, because I don't want to deal with it, and because I don't want to, but that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to play it safe. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
I do.
I'm here to break down the wall, so why am I confining myself to be within, even if they're pretty, and it's nature, and yada, yada, yada. If it's not what I'm meant to be doing, it is not serving my purpose, I shouldn't be doing it. I should be as open as you are all the time, but you know what? We'll get there.
Yes,
take the steps.
you will. And so years later, they're having this conversation with me. And the reason it happened that day was because my friend kept saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. So they showed me what I don't know looked like and felt like. And they said, baby, keep on proclaiming that over yourself, because every one of your cells hears you. They're saying this is good for you. Every one of your cells hears you anytime you declare anything. And people say, I don't know, all day long, like it's a mantra or something, and they don't even realize it. But every time they do that, they're clearing what they know.
Yeah.
And which is why earlier I was like, I don't know what I know, but I know that I know it.
Yeah.
Remember I said that?
Remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's important. The other thing is, so years down the road, they're like, yeah, you're always on, Melinda. Ever since you were a little kid, ever since you were born, you've always been on. You've never been off, except for that 10 seconds. I was like, oh shit, you're right. And I realized, like, I'm always on. There's no such thing as off. And so people try to connect to God. So one of my friends, she's like, I was like, girl, I haven't been sleeping. I've been sleeping like 3-4 hours, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, maybe you need to meditate. You need to reconnect. I was like, how can I reconnect to something that I'm constantly connected to? How can I reconnect to something that I am?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I never thought about it like that. I'm like, well, that's how I think about it. Like, I don't need to meditate to reconnect, because the connection is never not there. It's always there.
You just
always active.
Oh, yeah. See, I mine is there, but it's like I just kind of mute it, like a TV playing in the background. I think that's the best way for me to describe it for me, because it's always like, if I just choose to look slightly around the corner, oh, hey, there you are. You know that, well, probably because you're always on, you don't know, probably don't know what I mean, but it's an interesting feeling. But I think I want to hop into the always on
mode.
Yeah, because not having to meditate to get back in, oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, it's just always there. So how can I describe it to you? Like, ever since I was little, I just know shit. Part of why I never learned to turn it off, which is what you did. You learned to turn it off.
Yes.
I didn't learn to turn it off because it was always very private. I just didn't talk to anybody about it.
I was always talking about it. So maybe that's our opposites.
Yes, because the influence from other people's resistance will influence your consciousness about it, and then add to your programming.
Exactly. And maybe it's because I wasn't necessarily the highest level. I wasn't like vibrating at the highest frequency. So I still am able to see the darker sides of things, as we all people like us, we see the light and the dark.
You have to get here.
Exactly.
You can't miss half of what you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm an angel and a demon all in one, baby.
I say that all the time. Whenever I look at my soul self, I envision it as both.
Yeah.
Because I can't live without the dark, and I can't live without the light.
Correct.
Because that's unbalanced.
It's inauthentic.
Exactly.
It's not the all.
Exactly.
It's only half of the all. Everybody's like, I'm a light worker, baby. I'm just the divine authenticity. I don't know what to tell you. I remember when I did at an open mic thing, because that was part of my training, was I had this intense craving to do open mic, baby. 4 to 6 nights a week, I was at open mic nights. Just channeling messages, never with a script, never prepared. Didn't know what the fuck was going to come out of my mouth. So I'm at open mic. Where was I going with this? Why did you do that? Tell the DJ, bring it back. Tell the DJ, bring it back. I hate with that. Where did it go? I was at the open mic. Why did the open mic matter? There was a reason.
Training. We were talking about your training.
Yeah, it was my training. It was part of my training to get on the open mic and tell people things. Interesting. You think this shit is funny? They're laughing at me now.
As they so often do.
Yeah, didn't make jokes.
The amount of times I hear my grandma up there like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Not be afraid to just be embarrassed. Be silly.
Because if you can't, then oh my gosh, I feel sorry for you. Like, allow yourself to feel that lightheartedness. It's not always going to be so serious. I think that's why you forgot. Because they wanted us to break it up.
I think you're 100% on point with that, because it's been back. While you were talking, it came back. So at the open mic, I was offering readings, discounted readings for whoever wanted a reading that night. And so I had this young person come up to me and they said, before I get a reading from you, I want to know if you work with the light or the dark. I'd never been asked that question before or since, but I loved the answer that immediately channeled through. It's like, I work with both. If I didn't work with both, I couldn't help you through anything, and the information would be skewed, imbalanced, and inaccurate.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's why some people's readings are like always so lovey-dovey, and I'm like, that's either you're lying or, and I hate to say it so bluntly, but either you're lying or you are only looking towards the light so far that you are completely blind to the full picture.
Right.
Because it's not always going to be just light.
No.
All
You
the
can
readings
have...
I give accurate because they balanced. They're balanced.
You're taking all of it into consideration.
Exactly. That's how you get the best picture.
Uh-huh.
Can't do black and white. Can't do only color. You need to see the whole thing.
Yes. Every part of it is valid. Absolutely.
And that's why I like the fact that I love the sadness of life as well as the happiness.
Well, this is one thing. So my girlfriend didn't like it when I told her. I said, you know, one of these days I'm break your fucking heart, right? What do you mean? Baby, nothing lasts forever. Everything changes. No, we're going to be it forever. This is a forever kind of love. Okay, baby. Whatever you say. On a soul level, maybe. In the physical world, that's not how shit works on Earth. On Earth, everything has a beginning day and an end day. It doesn't mean that I'm going to want to leave you. It doesn't mean you're going to want to leave me. Maybe we fucking will. We don't know. Shit happens. This is Earth. That's how it works. But the heartbreak, you have to decide right now. Is it worth it or not? We could all stop living our fucking life if all we're worried about is the heartbreak that comes at the end. Or we can get into it and love hard and strong and long while we've got them to love, baby, because you don't know how long they're going to stay.
Yeah.
And you don't know how long you're going to stay.
That's the message I needed to hear.
Good.
That's
I told
what
you.
needs to stick with
Good.
me.
Yes. If it's worth it, it will break your fucking heart. That means you did it right. I've had so many fucking broken hearts in my life. My homeboy, one of my babies, it's him. He said, Melinda, I'm not like you. I can't just bounce back from a broken heart. Baby, you know why I bounce back from a broken heart? Because I keep getting it broken over and over and over again. And every time it breaks, it comes back stronger. And the other thing about it, every time your heart breaks, it's like a snake shedding its skin. A broken heart means you're just increased your capacity to love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense. I know that. I resonate with that so much because the amount I allowed myself to break so much as a child that I now love in a way that I didn't even know it was possible. Like when my goldfish died, oh my gosh, that was heartbreaking. That was the saddest experience of my life. And then further on, more death, more sadness, more, everything, and then up to my grandma's death. It still hurts, but it's a beautiful kind of hurt, and it opened me up to just, I don't know, so many amazing things. Like now my connection with the other side is much stronger because I have an ancestor that I knew in the physical.
Yes.
So I guess that kind of changes it whenever you know someone who has transitioned over to the other side.
Yes.
Because it makes it more powerful because you have that knowledge that they're there and you that I don't know how to explain it. And whenever I saw her body at a viewing, I was like, there's nothing in there. I know she's gone. I mean, I did see her as she left. I was like, oh, I was in my crying, my grief. I was like, Grandma, hi, we're a little sad. How are you feeling?
Right.
But it's just so interesting. It's so, I don't know.
Well, everything you just said is 100% on point, but they want me to add to it for you. So part of what I've channeled through the years is that, yes, when you have somebody that you've known and had you identify that person as love, pure love in your life. When that person transitions, they will step forward. You're going to fucking love this. As the representative for every last one of your ancestors, angels, guides that you will ever have that you didn't know existed. There's thousands of them, millions of them. But if they all talk to you at once, you will look batshit crazy and you would get scared.
So they become that voice.
She's your spokesperson. She is your spokesperson because she's your closest connection. And so so the dance with my dad, that was the third time I had the internal telepathic conversation with Source. The first 2 times it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
The third time they came in the appearance of my father, so that I could accept it and be willing. And in that dance, years later it was revealed, this is why we asked you 3 times during the dance, we can stop if you don't like this. Are you scared? You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And the reason they made me say, no, I've been waiting for this forever. I've wanted to do this for so long. I prayed for this. I've cried for this, right? I had to affirm to Source that I was okay with it, because the first 2 times God tried to just talk to me directly, I thought I was talking to demons.
Yeah.
And I was batshit scared, crazy. I was out of there. I like took off, like about in the physical body. Like I left. Baby, one of the first Up in Smoke tours was happening. Eminem, Ice Cube, all of them was there.
Yeah.
I left when Eminem took the stage. He had just come out. He was hot shit back then, because God was talking to me, and I thought the demons was getting into my head, because I was being shown so much that my brain was fucking overwhelmed, could not process it all at once. Oh, they said, and there's another point we want you to remember. We give it to you. So when Tim went to Mexico with the boys, he found the best lotion, and he couldn't bring it back across the border because it was too big. So what did he do? He used up all of it he could all at once. He said, but then it just wouldn't go in his skin no more. So I made a card for my handmade custom oracle deck. This says, we give it to you like lotion, as you can absorb it. So remember, when you're dealing with other people, if you were to transmit everything from your brain to theirs, their brain might explode.
That makes sense.
Their brain could explode. You could literally put them in an insane hospital, giving them too much at once. You and I, we can handle a more profound conversation. We have a greater level of awareness, connection. We're not afraid. We've been tested. We've been proven. We've been brought together because we can do this.
Yeah.
This is why I love my brother like I do. But everybody is not there.
That's very true.
And it doesn't mean that where they are is not right for them.
Exactly.
Although it's so far from where you are. Yeah, they want us to always remember that in our interactions with the others. I don't know what your personal ministry, we're going to call it a ministry, outreach, your personal campaign looks like. I don't know if you do yet, but you have one. The ones that come into your life because they need your soul transmissions and your soul codes, and they need your words, and they need your energy. Because their soul's been asking for it, and you're the closest one who has the right and they're giving me the word formulation to offer it. Yeah, you're the perfect one whenever that happens. But they want us to be very aware, like they can only handle as much as they can. It's like lotion. Don't give them too much.
Or like a strainer. That's how I feel. Like
Okay.
we are, like there's the source, and it's coming through us in a way that they can accept it. Sometimes, we can give a bit too much, and people get a little, taken aback. But I think our job is to find that balance. Give them the words that they need to hear. And then maybe if they're supposed to be on the path with us, guide them so that they can open up, so that they can receive those messages in a deeper and more profound way.
Yes, but they throw the question at you. Is it your job to determine what they can handle, or is it your job to hear when we tell you, okay, we're done now? Which way does it work? Which one is really the way it works? Do you need to figure out how much they can handle?
I don't think so, because I think the universe will find a way. Whether I already gave them what I was supposed to give them, I don't push any further if they do not want to hear it.
Right.
So I think universe will be like, oh, here's a dream,
Yes.
or here's a sign, or
Right.
here's a this. And then if they come back to me to finish the rest of whatever it is they're supposed to know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
If not, universe will find another way.
Right.
And I guess that's my belief in, fate. But just as the divine idea of universe or God or creator,
Yeah.
that it's always going to work out the way that it's supposed to.
So when I do these personal readings for the people who do pay me to do them, I'm always aware that there's very few times where I give them just the amount of minutes that they paid for. Because God will always say, we're not done yet. And so I got to keep talking. I got to keep talking. I got to keep talking. It's like when you're done peeing. You just know you're done peeing. And then at some point, I'm done peeing. And then I just know it. And it's like, okay, we're complete. Do you have anything else you want to say? Because I heard we're done. And I get this strong feeling that says, okay, now we're done. And sometimes they get a few minutes more. Sometimes they get a whole lot more than a few minutes more. It just depends on that person and what God knows about them that I don't need to know. It ain't none of my damn business. But I always tell people too, whenever I work with them, just like I told you, like there's a reason. It's not the nails are just a bait, right? Because I'm often giving messages that they didn't ask for.
Yeah. I relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being this open channel for source. I deliver messages, and I'm like, I don't know who you are or what you did. This is like when I pull somebody out of the parking lot. I don't have no clients today. Can I do your nails? No charge. It's my gift to you. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you did, but I heard you're the one that gets free nails today. Or I heard this for you, if it's a verbal message, whatever it is, you know. It's always like, I heard this for you. And then, you know, when it's done, it's done.
Yeah. So
whether I'm giving more minutes, I'm giving something completely for free. I don't know what you've done or who you are or why, but this is what I'm supposed to do for you now. Yeah.
That happened to me actually at work.
What happened?
So basically, this woman had came up and she was all smiley and she was happy and she was ecstatic and I saw her pink aura, but on the inside I knew. Universe was like, wait, hey, you gotta say something. And I was like, and I sat down and it was so unconventional and not at all like seen as professional in, you know, the worldly sense. But I sat down on, you know, that the windowsill that we have at Snappy's. So I sat down on it and I was like, here, wait, give me your hands. Because I like to build that physical connection. And she was okay with it. You know, she consented and everything. And I did my soul looking. But it wasn't about the time this time. It was about the mind. It was about her deeper mind and emotional being. And I gave her this information I didn't know. There was no way for me to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she just started crying and I was like, you are a light, and do not let the negativity that has happened to you just recently dim that. And I feel like it really, really stuck with her.
Yeah.
In a way that you know, sometimes you say things and you're like, I didn't even realize it was that deep. And then looking back at it, you're like, wait, that is probably a lot deeper than even I realized. But it's a beautiful thing how the universe will do that. And how, you know, you just feel so compelled to give to this person, even, you know, regardless of what it costs you or regardless of, you know, time or et cetera, because it's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Everything for a reason, right?
Everything for a reason.
Perfect timing, perfect place, perfect people, perfect space. Awesome. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
And other people are like, oh my God, that's crazy. And I'm just like, yeah, I get it. But no, this is normal.
Yeah.
Magical moment to the next.
Exactly. I feel like in those moments that I do have it like fully turned off, because like I said, sometimes it's just subconscious at this point. It feels like I'm on autopilot. But whenever I'm like now I'm active, I'm present.
Okay.
And I'm here. And I live for the moments like this. So I guess my goal for the next few days to make it more and make it last forever is to really focus on being present and not being asleep. That's what I want to use. That's the word I want to use.
I like that.
And not being asleep.
They said it's as simple as just focus on being what you naturally are. Because you're this naturally. It doesn't have to be forced. It doesn't have to be practiced. It doesn't have to be tried.
Yeah.
Just keep being more of you naturally.
Authenticity.
Absolutely. Vibrates higher even than love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to always unfold through that. And then the feeling of being on 10, they just said the feeling of being on 10, if you're on 10, your 10 can expand, but it cannot expand if your 10 is not full. Oh, you got that. That did something for you.
Yeah. So in my dancing career, let's just say I was already able to do a lot of the things.
Okay.
And even within my school career, I was always able to do all the things. So I didn't try. So I was always at my 6. And my 6 was other people's 10s. And that's fine, you know. But I shouldn't have limited my own potential because I limited my growth. When you limit your own potential, you limit your own growth. So I think that's why it's resonating so hard with me, because I could have been, and I'm not going to worry about what I could have been, but now being in this moment, I am worried about what I can be. So I need to be at 10. I need to be at 10 on everything. everything. I'm tired of, because I was always called extra as a kid.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
And then I started realizing after a while, I was like, I'm not extra. You're just not enough. No, I'm not kidding. But no, that's I understood. Why am I extra? Well, because I see the world differently, because I am outgoing, even though at times I'm introverted. Like, it's, I don't know. I just, well, I do know. I'm going to stop saying I don't know. You caught me in that. I felt you say that in your head. But, you know, I'm going to accept being extra, and I'm going to live up to that, and I'm going to live up to it for myself. Not to be like, oh yeah, I am extra, and this and that. No.
It's not about the cattiness.
Just because that's who I am, and I'm going to be who I am regardless.
That part.
Regardless.
Baby, they said the sun does not ask permission to shine, and it don't give a damn what time it is where you're at. It's going to shine anyways. Mm-hmm. If it's cloudy, that's not their problem. And that's where we're looking for.
Yeah.
When we first sat down, I said, I'm a son. I'm a divine, authentic being, remember? Mm-hmm. And that's part of it is you don't need permission. You don't need acceptance. You don't need validation. Fuck what they talking about, what they think. Whether they love you or hate you ain't got shit to do with you. Mm-hmm. Be you to the max. Everybody else is taken. If you don't do you to the max, they're never going to know what you really were because you're not going to show them. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've never channeled those words before. Beautiful, though. That's
insane. You want to know how that resonates with me?
Say it, baby.
It's always been Z has potential. It's always been they see the potential, but that it was never, like fully achieved within myself. So like other people can see that potential, but they don't see, like, I don't know how to explain it. The potential is there, but again, back to the I'm not trying thing. So I'm dimming my own potential, so it's harder to see what I am actually capable of. So like they're like, oh, your leg can go up here. Awesome. Great. Mm-hmm. What else can you do? But that question is more so like, oh, I know what I can do, but they don't. Mm-hmm. So I've always been like, oh, no, I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of, but I don't show it. But I don't actually prove to myself and to other people, like, hey, this is actually what I am capable of, and here I am. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I found the pattern. Mm-hmm. You did that spiritually?
Spiritually and physically.
Okay. And romantically, too. This is your pattern.
You are so
Your
right.
pattern is dimming to fit in. Baby, you weren't meant to fit in. You were meant. So I used to say it this way. Baby, everybody's in the box.
Yeah.
I didn't get out of the box. I created a new box. Mm-hmm. And everybody's trying to jump in that box and run around it and all that other shit. This is what you're here to do.
Yeah. Break that pattern.
It's a pattern in your life on everywhere. And so our biggest thing, so that's one thing that I had to learn. That's how I broke so many family curses myself, was because I investigate. I wanted to be a mind mechanic. I wanted to understand my own bullshit so bad that I was eventually shown all the patterns in my life. Now it's so easy for me to spot the patterns. Mm-hmm. I just need to know what you got going on, and you're gonna tell me, and then I'm gonna hear it, and I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna put it right in your face, baby. So what you gonna do with that? You're gonna break the pattern.
I'm gonna break the pattern.
You're gonna have I heard it. You're gonna have three. They're giving me the number 3, significant. And you were talking about the numbers. You have 3 significant Empress energy. 3 significant. So, okay, Empress energy. Now they're giving me all the 3 in the tarot energy. They're giving me society, stepping outside of you and your most personal and going into your siblings and your role in society and all of this. You're going to have 3 significant opportunities showing up that are going to allow you to show yourself how you're going to show up authentically. They say, why you can't even say the word right now? You know that word perfectly. Why you can't even say the word right now? Pay attention when you trip over the words. That means something, too. Everything means something. Remember, there's a reason for everything, not just some things. Everything. Okay, and everything. Why Cat William is coming through here, I don't know. But, yeah, everything. And you're going to have 3 significant experiences to step fully into all that you are and do the damn thing, bitch. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I'm a, they Justice said that was me. That was me. Justice said that was me. That was me. Justice did the familiar that's on the spirit realm. Yeah, Justice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Justice
seems
that
like
was me.
him because he was always barking. I'm always screaming, always screaming at me.
Yeah. Okay. So there's going to be 3 opportunities. So that can show up in any number of ways. But I do feel the sense that, because they're showing me at the bar. I do like to go out. And I'm not saying you're going to be at the bar. I've done it at the park. I've done it at the grocery store. I've done it all over while I'm pumping gas. Baby, I just break out into song and dance, and I don't care who's not.
Yeah.
It's not about who's not. It's about I am.
Can I tell you something?
Go.
That you probably won't know about. In ballet, because that's what I, was really focusing on. We have the first part of the day, the first part of the class, we warm up at bar. BARRE. So it's a literal, it's a
yes
parallel bar to the
and
floor.
I was just talking about the bar.
So your bar is different than mine, but it's still the bar.
Yeah, baby.
I think that's exactly what they're referencing.
I love. So go to the bar.
Get back in class. That's what I'm hearing.
And yeah, and I'm even seeing you in some sort of community involvement with children. I see youth. I see youth. I see, because remember, what you put out comes back to you, right?
Yeah.
So this is thank you. And there's so much. Can you tell the DJ to slow it down? We need to slow the speed down so we can deliver it all in time. Keep it on hold. Keep it in the hole. Okay, up next. So your inflow and your outflow.
Oh, I was just okay.
Got to be connected correctly.
Mm-hmm.
They said one time, it was shortly after Jasmine died, actually, the ex that I had talked about, whose birthday it is right now. She died, and that day I heard something that they said, Melinda, you know what your problem is? As I'm driving to the bar, okay, by myself. And I said, what is my fucking problem? And they said, you got your inflow and your outflow connected incorrectly. You're trying to give from where you're supposed to inflow, and you're trying to outflow from where you're supposed to inflow. Yeah, they said connect up correctly. And they use a car engine to show me, because I have a decent knowledge of what a car engine does, and they're showing me. Your intake and your outtake valves is incorrectly connected. We gave you an abundance of what you're here to give. We gave you talents so that you might receive your talents. In the Bible, talents were gold coins. So you are supposed to give your talents to the world and receive their talents back, whether that's gifts and favors or whatever that is, or monetary. Most times it's monetary. They said if you were supposed to be paying for everybody's everything, your bank account will be busting at the seams. But if it's not, where are you busting out the seams? They said, baby, you got more art in you than anybody walking around here. You got these nails, you got these words. That's where your overflow is. That's where you're supposed to be giving from. That's why we pull people out of the parking lot and give free sets of nails away and have these conversations with random strangers at the bar that will change their life. Yeah. And it's okay for people to pay for me. Because I had an ego thing about that. Plus, it was like, what the fuck? You think I'm a hoe? Which I love my hoes. I love my hoes. Baby, I ain't got nothing against you. Got nothing but love for you, baby. I'm just saying. But what you think you can buy me? Big fucking ego chip on my shoulder. And plus, I'm Taurus energy. Like, I'm the rich man. What are you talking about? Oh,
very share energy. Very share. I want to be a rich man. Yeah.
But this Taurus is the rich man, because this Taurus says, yes, please, and thank you. I'll take that. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you can tip me extra. Yes, you can give this to me. I'll take that. Okay, yeah. I had to be trained to do that. Because I was very much like, I can do it by myself. Oh, that's too much. Please don't do that. That's too much. You don't have to do that. No, if the bank account was busting at the seams, then maybe that would be appropriate. But I give my energy, my words, my arts, my talents, and I am to receive monetarily, give ways, the athletic ways, because I'm not the athlete. I can receive in music because although I'm a singer, I'm not a musician. You know, the things that I don't do is what I'm meant to receive for what I give,
I
right?
understand.
So there's this connect your inflow and your outflow valves correctly. What are you busting at the seams with? That's what you're supposed to give the world. Stop trying to give the world what you don't have, what they're supposed to give you. Because I used to have this big problem thinking that I need to pay for everybody's everything. Yeah, I don't.
That part.
I don't have to. I can when I want to, but I don't have to. And I'm not a bad person if I don't do it. That's another thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, you're
Yeah,
not.
exactly. Okay. Now, when I first said inflow and outflow, you had a huge response to that. Clarify. Give me more. Your turn.
So I just the past couple of days, I had realized that I was just pushing out. It's like all of my chakra, all of my energy was just going outwards rather than anything coming in. It's like I was blocked off from, like I said, completely blocked off from anything coming in, and all I was doing was pushing and pushing and pushing all of my energy out to everyone else, to anything else, to maybe distract my own mind from anything, whatever, yada yada. And just recently I realized, oh, that's what's so wrong. That's why my energy is so off. And that's why it's pooling in random weird places like the sacral and hyper fixating it in weird ways and just being awkward. And then I opened it up and I allowed not only the energy to flow from chakra to chakra, but from in and out. They're supposed to go in and out like a fan, you know, they're supposed to inflow, outflow. And just recently having done that, I feel more at peace. And even on the physical level, I've realized in my whole life, I'm always holding my breath. And I don't know why. It's like I've just been trained to just not take the space, not breathe, not actually be there because dimming my light. So even in just the moments like just now, taking that little breath to just be here and to be present. Here we go again. It's all connected to the breath, to my in, because all I'm doing is breathing outwards. So that's why I'm trying to reconnect and realign with being able to receive and give, not just one or the other.
Right. Both are definitely required. You'll choke yourself out if you don't. Okay, but I've been breathing. Stop it.
You okay?
Yeah, I am. I'm like, who's there? Nobody. Golden Amazon was here. Michelle was there. Okay. Wow. So much. What is that? Why am I choking now? Why? Why Elvis? I heard I'm all caught. What is it? I'm all choked up. And then you're going to give me the wrong lyrics? How rude.
Very rude.
All right. Give me the right lyrics if you're going to channel through.
Exactly.
They love laughing at me.
Was that ever one of your lessons? To learn how to laugh at yourself?
I guess so. I can't think of it specifically. But I'm like this huge jokester now. And the crazy part is I don't even fucking try. I just be saying whatever comes to my mind and then everybody laughs. And they laugh at me. And I make jokes about myself and everybody and everything. It must have been a lesson that I didn't realize I was having. They're saying that's a whole thing, you know. You know, a lot of lessons you don't realize you're having.
It happens a lot. But that just means we went through them because we went through them well.
Yeah.
We didn't suffer through them.
Right.
That's the best type of lesson in my opinion.
Yep.
The ones we didn't even know were happening.
Yep.
Why I do so bad at auditions? Oof. Because I know the lesson coming.
Oh, yeah? So I had a year of I need to go to open mics so I can practice speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
And it was, like I said, it was an intense craving. It was definitely training, spiritually training me. That was a real thing. Like, I had a lot of great interactions from doing that. I have some of those on the YouTube channel here. Those are recorded. But But at the end of the year, there was a New Year's Eve party at a bar.
At a bar.
I'm never going to not think of you when I talk about a bar now. I'm always going to remember you and this conversation whenever I think of a bar again. But I was going to the bar for New Year's Eve, and they were starting karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my big debut of 2 years of karaoke, 4 to 6 nights a week. The intense craving. And let me tell you, the first time I sang on the karaoke mic, I felt like my whole body was doing this. I was trembling. I couldn't hold the rhythm. I couldn't hold, and I'm talking about old ass songs that I've been singing my whole life. Why I couldn't remember the rhythm.
Oh, it's crazy you're saying this. Oof, oof. Go ahead, keep going.
That was it. 2 years of training. And now, like, I don't give a dang who's listening, how many people, where I'm at. I just do it. Mm-hmm. I'm constantly singing on the YouTube, whatever. It doesn't matter. In the bar, I'll be the only one dancing, singing out loud. Like I got a microphone. There ain't no microphone. Ain't nobody paying me no attention, but the whole bar is full, and I'm the only one up here singing and dancing. Everybody else is sitting down and talking. I don't know. What did that bring up for you?
So the entire reason I'm finally back in Vegas is because there was this audition down in Dallas.
Okay.
I was singing, I was dancing. Dancing was fine. Confident in my dancing. Mm-hmm. But the singing, luckily she let me go twice, but it wasn't as good as it could have been, you know? So I had this kind of like afterwards, because it wasn't as good as it could have been, because I got so anxious, I got so nervous. Mm-hmm. And I'm realizing now, I don't feel that. Like, I don't know why I felt that so intensely at that moment. And because I feel like if I had sung with what I know I'm capable of, I would be in a different place already. Like, maybe it's still coming. Maybe I'm still going to end up, you know, with whatever it is that was supposed to happen, that audition. But maybe I'm taking a detour and hitting a couple of road bumps because, you know, I had to go through to get the confidence, to get the inflow, outflow, to get everything I was supposed to before I'm able to take the next step. That is what I was already trying to take.
Yes.
Kind of like jumping into the deep end before you're ready.
Yep. I did hear doubt, and I heard dogging yourself out. That's what doubt is. You dogging yourself out.
Yeah.
And then they're saying part of the reason is because you're not understanding something about your chakras that you need to understand. Whenever you feel that fear, false evidence appearing real is a thing, because it radiates in the same place as anxiety and nerves.
So the heart chakra?
Solar plexus, it hits you in the gut.
The one I know ever paid attention to.
The solar plexus, baby,
Okay.
which is where your drive and your ambition is.
That's why I oftentimes I feel unmotivated, undriven. I have moments of drive.
So the color yellow will be very subconsciously and consciously healing for you, and anything that is yellow, taking it in, wearing it, surrounding yourself with it, that will help work on that. Okay. But they're saying, you're going to love this one. You're going to fucking love this. Is a real gem that I've been saying for years. None of your dreams live inside your comfort zone. If they did, they would be accomplishments. All of your dreams are going to require you to become extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because you've never done it before. That's why it's a dream. Your energy doesn't know that energy of doing that. So it's going to radiate in the place of fear, which is, no, don't go there because something bad could happen, which is fear. But the only reason you're translating it that way is because you're not cognizant and aware of the fact that when I'm about to break a fucking boundary that is going to free me up to attain my dreams come true, it feels just like that because it triggers the same chakra to go off.
Oh, that's deep. Oh my God.
Because usually when that chakra goes off, it's to save your life. Don't go over the cliff.
Yeah.
Drive slow. That person's no good for you. Usually when that chakra's going off, it is literally to save your life or protect you from something. It is also going off when you're entering an unknown energy. Why? Because the human brain can only spit back at you what it has been programmed with. It can only give you known information. Your soul is never feeding you. Those downloads is not known information. So your brain The computer brain says, cannot compute, unknown error. There's no manila file that says this. This is not a reality. So it starts freaking out, overthinking, trying to explain it. It's going to pull out this manila file from the sub-basement, that one from sub-basement 4, and this one from sub-basement 10, because they are most resembling what you're experiencing. However, none are accurate, because the divine mind brought it first, and everything behind the divine mind is trying to explain what the divine mind has shown. And it does not have the information to do it until you did it the first time. So that's going to trigger that fear area. Oh, there's a problem here.
And that even relates to my blocking of myself from receiving energy. My solar plexus being whatever it is now and being afraid of that so deeply afraid of it.
Because it's different. And then aside from that, now we got to talk about the synaptic patterns of the brain. The more you repeat an action, those synaptic patterns become more stronger, more pronounced because of repetitive use of the same pattern. The more you do it, the stronger and more natural. It's like, how the hell did I get home? Because you drive the same fucking road every day at the same time. So you don't even realize you just drove home. That's an example of what the synaptic pattern is like. Okay? So when you're trying to change up energy, the brain is going to want to do it all the same way it always has. And you're trying to create a new electrical connection in the synaptic patterning, which is going to feel uncomfortable. It's not going to feel right. It might feel painful. It feel awkward. It may feel embarrassing. This is why I tell people karaoke is one of the most healing things you can do. I don't give a fuck who you think you're going to kill. I've been at all kinds of karaoke. I heard some of the worst karaoke singers in the world. Nobody's ears ever bled. Nobody fell over dead ever. Neither singing on the stage or sitting in the audience. That's bullshit. But what does happen is the willingness to go tackle this challenge in which literally nothing bad can happen to you. You might get embarrassed is the worst fucking thing. You might trip over your notes is the worst fucking thing. Lose your rhythm like I did. I don't know. But it's got these energetic connections, entanglements with all these other experiences of your life. And like a web that's taken down out of the corner, all that shit comes down just by taking up a karaoke mic. Because now you're seeing the fear and doing it anyways. Feel the fear. It's not even fucking fear. It's literally nerves, anxiety. This is different. I don't know this. What is this? That's all it is. Do it anyways, and then have your breakthrough. So however that applies for you, baby. There's something good there.
There's a lot applying. So I'm going to really be pushing myself out of my comfort zone because I'm too comfortable still. I keep moving so that I stop feeling comfortable and getting complacent. And yet it keeps finding me because I'm not breaking the pattern.
Correct.
Because I'm not breaking the pattern, I'm dimming myself. And in dimming myself, I'm allowing myself to feel this fear and this nerves, this anxieties about everything, about every tiny thing. The smallest thing, unimportant, nervous, anxious. And it has no place. There's no place for it, you know?
Yeah. You're about to have a birthday.
Yeah.
This is your discovery year. This is your breakthrough year. This is it. That has something to do with the timing of our conversation. I just heard that very loudly.
This is it.
Yeah. Oh, you're 19, about to be 20. Ha! Okay. The Sun and Judgment.
That is that. Oh my gosh.
As you're 19, you're having the sun moment. Now it's in crystal clear conscious awareness. Conscious awareness, gold, the color of consciousness. The sun, everything is seen clearly in the sun. Judgment, as you call it out, so it comes about. It's time for you to start calling out some different things over yourself, knowing that you're a success, seeing your success, feeling your success, and being able to follow through with it. Being that extra bitch that you came here to be.
That part.
Honey, if you don't do it right, nobody gonna do it. If I wasn't extra with this shit, you wouldn't have talked about I want some stilettos. Because nobody was still gonna know what stilettos was. Because that lady been doing that stuff in Germany for a long ass time. That's where the lady was from that had the one little bitty picture in the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm finna do this. And you know what? I was like, I don't know if I should do them all. I only did one nail at first. Because I was scared. What are people going to say? Do I like it? This is so different. I've never seen anybody wear this before. Honey, I changed the whole world because the next day I went back and did all 10. So you can do one toe at a time if you want to.
I need to go in the deep end. I like pushing myself into the deep. I know it's a little crazy, but I feel like pushing myself in and just it's a sink or swim type of environment. I think having that tension is good for me in a weird way. And maybe it's because I have an Aries Mars, so I like the conflict of it. But
I have an Aries Mars too.
Oh, I love that. I really love that. Yep, that makes sense.
And I think that's why I confront all the shadow aspects head on. Like, I don't run from the shit. I run right through it.
I want to tell you about one of my dreams that I had years and years and years ago. So, I think it was like, maybe not years and years and years, but like 5 years ago. Maybe 6. Actually. 10. Oh, wow, it's been a long time. Anyways,
wow.
So when my grandma was alive, so she was still with us, me and her lived in rooms that were like an L. Hers was the index finger, and then mine was the thumb.
Okay.
Right? So her room, in my dream, I was in my room, my door was open, and there was this evil demonic energy. And this is like a multiple part story. So I was like, oh no, Grandma, I need your help. So I ran from my room. I ran through that energy. I was like, no, move. I need to get to my light, my love, my grandma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I ran straight to her room. And then I was like, what if she can't protect me from it? Or what if she needs to be protected from it? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to stand up. I'm going to be like, you know what? I was cussing. I was like, get the fuck out. Like, I was aggressive. I showed dominance. And from that moment on, let's just say demons know better than that's funny.
That's right. I heard, while you were talking about your dream, I heard you are the ancestor that your ancestors prayed for. You're the one. You're the one that they've all been waiting for. That's why you're the one that's alive now. When we had the global shutdown, so that we could reboot with the new program running. Understand that we are running a new program. Okay. The Earth's core is magnetic. It flows circularly.
Yeah.
There's some information I came across. I have nothing to justify this, support it, no evidence. But it was something I was shown before I came across this information. I was shown it spiritually. That somehow the Earth's core was reversed. Information that I would later find revealed that thousands of years the Jehovah and Anunnaki came to Earth and they put a spell or a lock, a curse on Earth. And what it did was it caused the Earth's core to flow opposite. So all the beautiful people with their beautiful intentions weren't getting shit. Because the Earth's core was flowing in reverse, which allowed for the manipulation by the dark entities of the light energies, the vampiring off of humanity. Thank you. Yeah. Well,
I've had dreams of, this is so crazy because dreams of before that, I didn't have that piece of the puzzle. But dreams of before this, I didn't know what had happened in my own mind. I was like, some type of veil, some type of weird energy like went up and just completely flipped humanity. And I used to use the verbiage flipped a lot because it just felt wrong. It felt like we were just incorrect. And because before, we had beautiful things like Native Americans had 2 spirits and we had connection to the earth, and it was just, even though it wasn't necessarily all good, it was balanced.
there it is. Yes.
And it felt and it feels like this incarnation that I've woken up in, it feels so different from my last because it doesn't feel like, I feel balanced in myself, even though there's parts that are not necessarily in equilibrium right now. I feel most of me is balanced. You know what I mean? But I feel so out of place in the world because it feels mostly, for the most part of my life, it felt unbalanced.
Well,
That makes sense.
so the Earth's core was flowing in reverse, allowed for all the dark to thrive and to take advantage of the energy produced by lighter energies and more balanced energies. So the shutdown, computer terms, gamer boy, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever the new program is uploaded, we got to shut down and reboot to restart the energy. The only time in recorded human history where the entire globe was shut down. Think about that.
Yeah.
The entire globe was shut down.
Everything stopped.
No planes, no cars, no nothing for a while. You know, people were in their house.
Mm-hmm.
So, during that time, the new program was able to begin running.
Yeah.
I had evidence of this given to me. I do have evidence, but it's all hearsay to you. Conversation for me with somebody who's trusted. I have an old mountain man friend. Type of dude where black helicopters fly over his property because of the type of experiments he likes to do. The type of dude who knows a bunch of intelligent people, but he's kind of a mountain man, retired, a hillbilly, smoke weed. He been and he's old, off the grid, 100%. Farmer, all that. And he calls me, girly. I was on my way to town, and every time I go to town, I stop for a smoke break and stare down at the river. Same spot at the bridge. And every time I stare down at the river, at the bridge, I can see this vortex in the water, and it swirls, and it always swirls to the left, and it always swirls to the left. But this time when I stopped, girly, it was swirling to the right. I didn't know why he needed to call me and tell me that, but he did. It was revealed. When a few months later, there was a shutdown on Earth. And then that's where they showed me, and it was channeled through. Yeah, the magnetics are flowing as they were meant to. Now what you put out will come back to you. Nobody can steal it, siphon it, vamp it, or nothing else. And now part of the mission, should you choose to accept, is to create the... No, it can't happen again. It literally can't happen again. But is to spread the awareness to those who have given up on being good people, putting good things out because they never got anything good back, because now it's supported, then it was not. But it's so fixed in their consciousness that they're not having the experience yet because they're stuck in the old consciousness thinking this shit don't work.
Yeah.
And then I'm hearing foreigners singing, don't stop believing. You gotta hold on to that feeling. And I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh, I love that song.
Yeah, so they're saying these people have stopped believing. Not all of them. There's always you and others like you. And great things are set to happen now. Leave out all the doubt. Don't worry about what didn't work before. You're in an entire new program now. The matrix has been re-uploaded differently. It works now. And what's the best way to let them know? Have the experience yourself. Be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see. Live your best life. Have the best experiences, most fulfillment. Get out there, do it to the max. Love hard, play hard, eat great food, travel the world, whatever it is, do it. Live your best life and talk about it with the people that cross paths with you, or whatever ways you're guided to. And they will be drawn to you. They will be drawn to you like moss through the flame. They're gonna seek, okay, because they just showed me, because you're a sun, you're self-regenerating source of energy. And so they're going to be drawn to you. And just like the sun, baby, they're going to have to go through some phoenix shit. They're going to get burnt down to be purified, just like gold and silver must be burnt down to be purified. But that's okay. They'll make it through.
I like the way you see it, because a lot of times the way I see it, like I said, is like a butterfly. So, creation, destruction, that balance. A lot of the times I come into someone's life, or they come into mine, and through the cycle of destruction, I destroy the ideas that they had, and I don't try. It's not something I'm consciously aware of a lot of the time, but I change their perspective, or I get them started on their healing journey, or I just open them up in a different way that they didn't know was possible. You
present information, awareness, and energy that they had no awareness of. I grew up with family members who was always angry and violent, dope dealers, gangbangers, and all that shit in the hood, baby, in Denver. Okay, I didn't know that it was possible to have a family where dad never beat on mom, Nobody did drugs. Nobody died. There was no murders. There was no dope dealers. Nobody was addicted to nothing. I didn't know that was possible until I was older than you are today. I was 30 years old when I met the first human who never saw her father beat her mother. They never got whoopings. Her or any of her, there's 3 children in that family. She's older than I am. One of the most well-adjusted adults I have ever met in my life. I admire her. But she made me aware that another way of living existed. That's what our beautiful brothers and sisters of humanity need to become aware of. There's another way of living. You don't have to do it the way that you've been shown. There's more available to you that you just don't know yet. Yeah.
I think even though, you know how you said, I don't know how I know. I don't know.
I don't know what I know, but I know that I know it.
Exactly. That. Whenever I'm in a state of flow and I'm telling people these things, sometimes I like I said, I don't know how I know, like you said. And I'm giving them information that I have not myself processed and have not necessarily sometimes even applied. So I think, let me start listening to those messages.
Yes.
Let me start listening to the things that I have given to other people because they can not only help them, but they can help me.
Okay, so here's the secret. Anytime you're doing spiritual work with another person, there is always application for yourself. It never fails. Always. Everything. And when you're being guided to use your personal experiences, that's important too. But it's always for both of you. It's never one-sided.
Because it's the connection. It's a push and pull.
And remember, okay, whether you know it or not, you have all these soul ties. So we were talking in the beginning about how we're both the cure for racism, having all these different ethnicities in us. But there's all these different types of applications, and you could check off all these different types of boxes of you're this, you're that, the other. For example, teen mother, suicide survivor, single parent, divorcee, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on. Then there's ethnicities. Then there's education level. Then there's financial background. All this shit, right? Those are all soul ties. The evolution you do for you becomes available in an energetic bank. Never used that phrase before now. New shit, okay?
There we go.
For all of your soul ties to access easier with the ease and swiftness. That's absolutely gorgeous. So you're 19 years old. I'm 47. So that means I am 28 years older than you. When I was 28, I started going through a lot of hard things and I started coming into the beginnings of what this is, taking my power back. That was the last year I was married. That was the year before my mother died. And part of us having this conversation is a coming of full circle because of our soul ties of how you became. It's not my fault that you did it. You still did it. Okay, thank you. They give it back to me again. This beautiful illustration of imagine a thick jungle forest. Somebody got to come through with a machete, baby, and cut that bitch so everybody else can walk down the path. Or the way I say it in my gay circle, because I got gay friends that are over 60 who have been gay their whole life. So I'm like, thank you for paving the rainbow brick road so I can run down that bitch as fast as possible. Or in other words, thank you for clearing the forest for me, right? And that's the energy. And that's one of the things that I did about a lot of generational karmic shit. Since a long time ago, honey. And it's crazy because I was like 12 when I started to see that I would have this great impact on earth, and I knew I'd be part of Christ coming back. I didn't know it was about Christ consciousness back then. I was still in the Christian religion, but I knew I was going to see Jesus come back.
That is really...
At 12 years old.
Around the same time for me, I knew that I was going to be about... And this sounds scary to say, but the apocalypse, the end. And in that terms, I represented death and life. So death and new life. And I don't know why, but I do know why. Stop saying I don't know.
Yee.
But I'm trying to catch it now.
Baby, no, you're not trying. You're successfully catching it. You're building a new pattern already. Yes.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So I was like, okay, I will be this. Like, it portrayed itself to me as a horseman. And I think it did that because I didn't have the knowledge yet. Like you said, it takes manila envelopes from the bottom sub-basement and it helps tie it in. And the horsemen aren't like necessarily literal horsemen. They are revolutionaries for change and destruction and creation.
My Chinese zodiac sign is a horse.
I think mine's a chicken. But yours being a horse. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Wild.
it seems like the horsemen are finally connecting, huh?
Yeah. Everything for a reason, baby. Everything for a reason. And, so it's awesome because you're young enough that you're going to live long into the new program. But you're old enough that you have enough awareness of the old program. Yeah. And you're energetically authentic enough to where you can carry this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Absolutely. It's awesome. Yeah.
I will say, I am thankful to my highest self, or to my soul, to Creator, for blessing me, what I consider to be blessings, my abilities, my understanding, because it is much beyond my years.
You're an ancient soul, baby. And so when you said that they want me to share something that I channeled years ago on the YouTube channel, it was interesting. They showed me before we came to Earth. We all chose to come. Not only do we choose to come, but it's not like, oh, I want to go to Earth. Fine, you can go. No, it's an application process, baby. It was an extenuous application. And part of coming to Earth was a commitment that you would evolve human consciousness, raise the human consciousness, and the application also detailed the types of human experiences you would live out in order to do that. None of it was pretty. It was all the tragedies, all the atrocities, all of the horrible things. You had to fill out percentages. You could choose in increments of 5 in percentages of this type of experience, that type of experience, and the other type of experience. They didn't say how much of that low vibrational energy you had to accept. It was up to you. But according to your application you submitted, you'd be approved or denied to go to Earth. So they said some of y'all asses chose 85% bullshit, some of you chose 5% bullshit, and 95% beautiful life. And then there's some of you that just chose a very high 85% bullshit and the rest are beautiful life. So this is fucking gorgeous. So in that list, you're going to have your, I heard, why you got to start there? They said human trafficking. You have your drug addiction. You have your physical abuse, sexual abuse. You have all these different ugly titles of human experiences in which human consciousness is evolved, to elevate human consciousness for all humanity ever to come after you. So many come, they get into the experience, they fall from the experience. They don't got what it takes when they get here. They think they do, they come in all gung-ho, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. But when they get here, they don't choose to remember who they are. We say remember because it's about putting yourself back together again, hence the re and the member. These are pieces of you, and these fragmented pieces of you pick up in all of these situations, that hence the craving and the desire for that chaotic, fucked up, toxic situation, but it's got all your perfect lessons in it. Now, let's say you chose to live 85% of your life in this experience. Does that mean you're doomed to be a victim of domestic violence for 85% of your life? No, it does not. You could have signed up for 85% domestic violence. Then you get down here to Earth, and baby, as a child, it was fucked up. So your childhood under your parents, let's say that's 25% of your life. You don't know that you're only going to live to be 72 years old. So 18 years old, you leave home. You never get involved in another domestic violence relationship again. You're still under your 85%. You still got to do more. Okay? So what do? You end up with a friend, a best friend, stuck in a cycle of domestic violence, and you coach them. Or maybe you decide to go work as a welfare officer, or maybe you decide to be a life coach, or maybe you decide to work with the homeless, or I don't know, but in some sort of way, maybe it's your sister who's still stuck in it and she never got out. Some sort of way, you move from being in the center of the energy to having the energy move outside of you. And that's how you'll fulfill your 85. Maybe you write a book. That's a very automatic way to do it. You'll write the book, make a movie, maybe you do a YouTube channel. This is how you fulfill the other rest of those percentages without having to be in the experience. But you chose it. Whichever way you want to complete your 85% bullshit, you can. And it doesn't mean life has to be horrible while you're doing it. It just depends on how long it takes for you to grasp the soul lessons and realize, like, what kept coming through in the, was it Taurus reading? No, Gemini reading I did this morning maybe, or the Taurus reading I did yesterday, talking about, I don't owe anyone any suffering. I do not owe them suffering. I didn't break it. I don't have to fix it. Not my monkeys, not my circus. I don't have to stay here and suffer for nobody. So many people stay stuck in cycles because they're trying to fix somebody, heal somebody, do it better for them, blah, blah, blah. Or they don't find their power. They don't realize their value. They don't think that they deserve anything other than. All these different things can happen. But that's what I was shown about the cycles that we go through and how we can fulfill our soul's obligation to evolve the energy.
When you said write a book,
I saw something in you.
I have been writing a book the entire time I've been dancing. So as long as I've been dancing, I've been writing. And it's called The Line Between. I won't go too far into it just in case somebody listens and wants to copyright it. But it's basically this. I merged all I had learned about religion and cultures and spirituality, and I turned it into this book, and it's a fantasy book, so it's not even just like an informational read, but the information is there. And if you look, you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to find it. And in this book, it starts off with the main character. He goes through some very, very hard times in his life at the very, very beginning of his life. His mother dies. He is stuck in a horrible place with his abusive father, and it's just not at all good. He's very, very dark. He tries to commit a couple of times as well. But his life purpose, his path is too big for him to be able to do that. Let's just say he's very, very powerful energy, and he is here to, I'm going to use it as a term that we were already talking about, but he's here to restart the system. He is basically going to undo. And this is crazy because this has already been written down, but this is exactly what we're talking about. Restarting the cycle. He is resetting the computer. And he's allowing the gods to come back and humanity, and that's basically what we're doing. We did. Humanity is allowing spirituality and the ability of chaos or creator or energy or God to actually come and manifest itself. Because even, and I'll connect it to Christianity just so people that are, listening in the future or listening now can understand the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament. There was some type of weird shift, between the God of then and the God of New Testament.
Correct.
And it felt weird. It felt awkward. And it didn't feel necessarily right. It felt kind of skewed a little bit. So that being said, he's kind of resetting the cycle. I watched this TV show and these books called The Wheel of Time, and it says that time works in a wheel, and obviously that's a tarot card as well. So I saw that and I was like, wow, that actually resonates so much because everything happens in its cycles and its seasons and yada yada yada, and he's pressing restart and he's taking out the gunk from those turning wheels of water. He's taking out the gunk that was stuck in it that was slowing the wheel or murkying up the water, and he's putting fresh clean water in, he's upgrading it, and he's allowing us to finally reconnect and get back to the path that we were supposed to be on. And the best part about it is there's demons that are purposefully trying to only open us back up to their negative energy. But the one true God, the creator, who formed everything from chaos, he's just an anagram for like the human consciousness. It's great. He's about duality. So he's like, no, we're going to open both sides. Because he's about balance. He's the God of yin yang. He's the God of good and evil, chaos and order. So he's like, no. Through him, through the main character, through Max, we are going to bring about everything, bring about the entirety of change. And that's pretty much the whole story. He finds the love within himself, and he allows the light and the dark to merge within himself. And that's how he saves the world, basically. Now, when I said the name Max, I saw something.
Honey, that was just a small part. Everything. Everything. There's so much there. Yeah. So much there. Max is my grandfather's name. That's my grandfather's first name. Which is wild, because I never dealt with it. As far as I know, he's a fucking pedophile. I don't have no evidence. But that's what I've been shown. He's a fucking pedophile. And that's one of the things that I've always raised awareness about was pedophilia.
That's in the book. Because it's hard. It's a hard topic.
It's a hard topic.
Yeah.
I've even had readings come through the channel about pedophilia. And as now that my daughter, she's 29 now, and all her friends are grown up. She was in here with some of her girlfriends, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And we were sitting around having a conversation, and the girl said, you know, Mom, you know you're the only one that ever talked to any of us about what a pedophile was? Like, nobody knew anything about these sick-ass adults that would abuse them. But I was the one that told them. Okay, Wheel of Time. My brother, Hecate, he's like, you gotta watch the Wheel of Time, blah, blah, blah. There's this, that, the other. It's been on my Netflix. I think I started it. I don't know.
It is
But
deep.
I'm gonna watch it again. So there's that also.
It's on Prime Video. Prime Video, so you know in the future, because it is so much deeper than what people even just realize. And it was canceled, but we're bringing it back. We have like petitions and everything. It's an amazingly deep show, and it's so accurate to spirituality.
So there's more. Years ago, Hector said, we're conversing much like you and I are now. And he said, you know what? You really ought to write a book about all these things we talk about. I said, Hector, how am I going to fucking write a book if I got to have time to talk about shit?
Yeah.
Like, I got to have the experiences. I got to get out here and live the life. When the fuck am I going to write a book? I said, we don't have to write a book. Somebody already writing the book for us, and it's about our life. Now, feel that. I am the one.
Wow. I'm writing your story then, it seems.
I was in the desert. Literally in the Las Vegas desert. Some girls got lost. And I heard, let's go see what gift Gaia has for you. So here I go. Nobody wanted to walk with me. I went by myself. I found this piece of wood out in the desert. And I brought it back to the trunk. I just thought it was so beautiful, so I picked it up.
It is.
I noticed how it was twisted. I put it in the trunk and kept walking the other direction. Go that way now. Okay, I'm going that way. See what else Gaia has for me. Had to walk twice as long. Where the fuck are we going? We're in the middle of the desert, and I saw this rock gleaming because it's got all this quartz in it. In the sunlight over there. Oh, okay. So I'm carrying the rock, and I'm walking back. Got about a quarter way back to where everybody was. They said, okay, stop. So I stopped. Feet shoulder width apart. Okay. Put the rock in between your feet on the floor. Okay. Now move energy like you do. They said, you're going to feel this. So I did. I moved energy like I do. And they said, what would you like to see? What would you like to see for your humanity? And it was like people embracing the love that they really are. I see people embracing the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That people come into their true, authentic, divine nature. That they know love and peace and happiness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That people can be loving to themselves and one another. And all these different things were flowing through me in a channel message. And I moved my hands in on this dry, hot, clear sky of a Las Vegas day, out close to Lake Mead. While I was doing this, I heard the thunder. And by the time they were told, okay, you're done. By the time I was told I could stop, which was only a few minutes, it was pouring. There was not a cloud in the sky before I started. And I was shown that changed the energy. That did it. It worked. The clouds, the rain, the thunder was evidence that it worked. When I made it back to the girls, they were like, oh my God, there goes our day at the lake. It's going to suck now. I said, no, actually, by the time we get out of here and make it over there, the weather's going to be perfect. There's going to be nobody there. It's going to be our beach. It's going to be perfect. Watch. And that's exactly what happened. That was in the summer of 2019. It was the fall of 2019 when the old man called me and told me some crazy story about a fucking river. In the beginning of 2020. We all know what happened then. But what you don't know is for about 9 years, because I was in my old business location for about 11 years. For about 9 years, maybe 10, I had been self-prophesying that nobody would have my polka dots behind me in my old business location. The city of North Las Vegas is going to pay me to move out. They're going to tear the whole thing down, and nobody will have my polka dots. I'll go to a prettier location. The day before the shutdown was announced was when the lawyer visited. One of my twin clients, who was the first one that became a client out of the two twins, was there as a witness because I was doing her 1.5 hour nail service, and the shop was open for 1.5 hours when the lawyer from the city of North Las Vegas came knocking at the door. The city of North Las Vegas bought the property. We're going to pay you to move out. We could find you a new place, or we could just cash you out. The next day, the quarantine was announced. I did one of these videos with the twins so we could talk about that because I couldn't remember forever. Who was the one that was sitting with me when the fucking lawyer came? It was me! You're fucking kidding. It was you? Oh, man. And it was only her second visit with me. And the first visit, I had already told her, one of these days, the city of North Las Vegas is going to buy this property and tear it down. They're going to pay me to move out. So she already knew. She's still with me today. One of my greatest supporters and somebody who loves me dearly, and I love her dearly. And her twin. They're awesome. I'm the one. Now, my brother, when I got to know him, first time I met him, that man did not want to meet me. He said, there ain't nobody out here. Please don't let her sit next to me. He'll tell you the story if you ever get to meet him. And I did. I sat right next to him. Hey, what's that song you listening to? The second time I seen him, well, that night I helped him answer a deep question that was bothering him. He said, how can I give the love to myself? Why is it so hard to love myself as good as I love other people? I don't remember what the fuck answer I gave him, but it worked and it was true, and I only speak the truth too. But, oh, shit. You ever seen the movie Cloud Atlas?
I have seen it, but I don't remember it.
Tom Hanks and Halle Berry. Okay. When you watch it, I am so me. You'll know. But they say you're so brave to say that on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. I'm perfectly blessed, safe, and protected no matter where I stand in my skin. They've tried to take me out so many times in so many ways on so many days, and I'm still here, and I'm going to continue to be here. I'm fine. I don't need to be brave. I just need to know who the fuck I am. That's what you need to know, too. All of you need to know who the fuck you are. There can't be no doubt. There can be no fear. A fear is a lack of faith, okay?
That part.
A fear is a lack of faith.
Fear is a lack of faith.
If you don't believe in it, then you better fucking fear. Where were we headed with all this?
That's
I
how you know
heard
the
intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. They said, it's enough.
That's how you know the conversation's good. When you lose yourself in it.
Yeah. You said you wanted black stilettos. How you want your nails?
So I want to do mainly like all black, but on the underside I want to do red.
Okay. So you want black with red bottoms. Got it.
Yeah, like Louboutins.
Okay.
I was wondering also, would it be possible for you to do like a heart on the middle finger?
What color with the
White,
red?
just
White?
like a white like outline of a heart.
Just an outline?
Yeah, just an outline.
Okay.
Like just like a line work. Yeah.
Do you want it black in the center of the heart also, or
Yes.
solid? Okay.
Black in the center of the heart.
Okay. All right. You got it.
Thank you.
Whatever you want, I do for you. $5 more. Janine, thank you for your $5 New Zealand money donation. I love you, Mama. Janine always with me. Why you take your words off so I can't read what you've been saying? I love you. Okay. Here, look at this handsome young man. Ah, we love him. I love his afro.
Thank you. It's a little deformed right now. It gets compressed with air, but hi guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We actually have 3 with us right now. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, I never know who's gonna show up or what it's gonna do. And I don't think I've ever done like a full set with YouTube watching. And definitely not in this way. And I'm like, there was this one lady I wanted to interview her. I told her I was going to call her on Saturday. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. And I don't feel motivated to communicate with her about it. And they said, when she comes back, I'm like, okay, maybe this is what's going to happen when she comes back. Like, this could be a new trend for me in my world. Just get the shit out when it comes out. You know how often I sit here and I have these life affirming or altering conversations about the universe and stuff, and then I try to go talk about it, and fuck, I can't remember everything we talked about.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'm gonna go ahead and have you to wash, baby.
Okay.
And then there's brushes up there, there's soap and paper towels are on the wall, and then we'll start painting. Yeah. Well, y'all get to spy. You get to be a spy. You get to be a spy up in my energy and see what's going on in my studio. Yeah, usually I don't do nails if I don't have music playing in the background.
If you want, I can play some.
You're welcome to if you want to.
Nah, that requires me to open my phone.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know, I can not control, but understand and feel the energy of a lot of things. All things but electronics.
Oh, really?
Don't matter what I am doing, it feels unnatural to me.
Really?
And that's just the only way I can put it.
Okay.
Like, electronics just feel wrong.
Hmm.
I guess that's that.
Interesting. What if you understood that electronics are the human attempt to recreate what humans can do naturally?
That makes, ooh, wait. Because now that gets deep.
Yeah. Like Janine in New Zealand, you know how many times I've done this, that, or the other, and she's like, I was thinking about you, and there you were. There goes your telephone.
That's what that's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, instantaneous conversation.
My daughter, you know, the whole telepathic combo.
Exactly.
My daughter likes to go on these deep dives, and so one of the bits of information that she pulled out on one of these deep dives was that the only reason there's telephone wires in the sky is because it blocks the human's natural ability to connect to the hive minds when they sleep during their dream state. That's why there's 5G and there's telephone wires and cell towers everywhere, because it's like, yeah.
Like a blockade almost.
It's an electronic fence.
Because
for lack of a better
electronics
term.
use magnetism
And
to
you
disturb
are
us.
electricity, baby. You are energy.
part.
Yes.
That part. Ooh, you did the shape. Ooh.
I told you nobody can do it like me. I'm a master, baby.
And when
I'm
you said
the
that, I was
master,
like, here we
baby.
go. I believe her. My whole soul.
Look at some of my early work. Mind you, I got licensed in 2007, so.
I bet those ones took forever.
Yeah, some of them not. Some of these nails that I do be taking over 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Just depends.
Oh, that's pretty cool. The
Hand
skull.
painted, baby.
Now that's talent. You are talented.
Hand paint 3D. I even got stickers and stuff up there for those who don't want to wait for all the fancy hand painted. Yep. We do it all.
Whoa. This is good.
It's
I
time.
could look
to
at
paint.
absolutely all of your work. This is amazing.
Yeah, I thought you might enjoy.
Oh, that.
You
Like
like that, huh?
That's nice. And then like this little like snail design you have right there.
That's my nails. That picture's probably about 2009. The corkscrew baby. It's a fan favorite.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for showing me.
Yeah. One of my favorite pictures in here, I'm going to show you. I'm sure you've seen it, but I want to point it out. Oh, let's see, where is it at? This one is one of my favorites here. That's my hand in my old cutlass.
Whoa.
With the 3D flower I had on there and the 3D NailFanatic logo, long ass nails. And then where's the other one? Me with the glasses from the bottom side with the piercings.
I didn't see that. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. I remember I've taken pictures where I'm holding the beer and my nails are just wrapped all the way around the bottle. Yeah. And now I just like them short, and now they're long. They're long. I file I'm about to do it before I leave here tonight. File them back till I can feel the skin start to burn. Then I know they're short. They're too long. Okay, I brought 2 shades of red for your red bottoms. I think you want this one. But I also brought this one just in case you wanted something a little bit more sultry. I don't know if either of those meet your...
I do like that.
You like
sultry.
the sultry one? Okay, you got
nice.
it. All right, baby, let's do it. Now, what I do need to do is get a little bit of texture for it to grab onto. Otherwise, it'll just plop right off real easy. We don't want that. Because you do too much grabbing of stuff at work.
A lot of gravity stuff.
Yeah. So we need this to stay. So we can get some texture to adhere to.
I love the universe.
So do I. I love my life. I love being alive. I love what I be. I love what I see. I love what I do.
I just love.
Exactly. Because I am love.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
And you know what? I had to go through the deepest, darkest depths of the dungeon of my soul to become that in its wholeness. Spin this way for me, baby. Thank you.
Yeah. A lot of darkness.
Mm-hmm. And when you think about the perfect recipe it took to make each one of us, like somewhere in our ancestral history, there was an ancestor that was running from a saber-toothed tiger,
Yeah.
trying to save their life. Somewhere in our ancestral history, there was this couple, and they didn't think that they would ever have a child, and then they had this one miracle child.
And then from that child, a legion.
Yes. Somewhere in our history, there was somebody that wanted to die, but they just couldn't kill themselves. And guess what? Here we are. And somewhere in our history, there's somebody that they tried to kill, but they couldn't take them out. And here we are. And I think about all these different ancestors that I'll never know their faces or names until I'm dead. And that's okay. But I'm grateful for them because they made me fucking awesome. I can do so much stuff. I got so many talents. So back when baby fat was a thing, which was probably before your time. But anyways, Kamora Lee Simmons was everything. And everybody like call me baby fat and call me Kamora and all this stuff. I'm like, I used to get angry. I got more talent in my pinky nail than she got in her whole life. Because I do. I'm so talented. My big problem is I know I can do anything. It's just how good can I do it? Some of the stuff I'm a master of, not all of it, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. I needed to fix that, and I had forgotten. So how perfect is that?
Very.
Mm-hmm. Everything works out.
Exactly as it should.
Every time. In church, they like to say God is good all the time.
All the time. God is good.
Mm-hmm.
I love
That
relating it back to church so that people can understand it a bit more.
Some people really do. Some people get turned off by it. So I always talk in all the vernaculars. I'm like, which one do you speak? Because I speak them all.
That part. That part.
Yep.
I'm multilingual. I got you.
I can even speak Ghetto-Nesian if you need that.
I can speak real proper. I can speak real hood. Just let me know what's up.
Yes. Which way do you want to go with this shit?
Exactly.
We can do it all. And you know what? That's a sign of true divinity. The ability to communicate on various different levels and be adaptable, because the divine is all. So the more in tune you are with the divine, you should be adaptable. Go ahead and put that under there. Let's go over here. What were you about to say?
I was going to say that the way that gods and goddesses, which I just believe are higher energy beings, you know, that just are a-bodied, you know, they just don't have a body, they choose not to. And I think the way that they portray themselves is different for each person. That's why people have different like experiences, not necessarily whole personality-wise, because at the end of the day, it's still the exact same being. But I think like when you think of beauty, that immediate first thing that pops in your head, that's Aphrodite. You know what I mean? Or when you think of wisdom, I think of my sister calling me. 1 second.
Go ahead. Hey, sis.
Hi, sister. I'm alive. Yeah, no. I love you. I will see you later. Okay, see ya. She worries, but I'm fine.
Good.
But I think it's so amazing how our gods can be chameleons. Like, they truly fit wherever because we are there. You know what I mean? Like they exist not like to help us in our many forms. I think that's pretty dope.
So you said, think of this and think of that, and you were trying to get, you were going towards gods and goddesses, and immediately I'm like, oh, me. You said, think of beauty. I'm like, oh, that's me.
Okay.
And then you said, think of wisdom. I'm like, oh, that's me. And then you're like talking about the gods, and I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's a level of self-awareness. Like, they only exist through us. Because we are them and they are us. And that is us.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just another version of our higher selves.
And then somebody said, what that? Blasphemy! I just heard somebody say, blasphemy! And then spirits laughing. They love to make the jokes.
All the time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just be chilling, minding my own business, and I'll, out of nowhere, why am I laughing? Why did I just hear the funniest joke of my whole life while I'm sitting here in the quiet?
Yeah. Perfect. I love how young you are to have such a deep, profound awareness of the way things actually work. I would love, I don't know if you've read a book, but I would love to recommend it if you haven't. It's called The Kybalion. It's a
Kybalion.
It's a very short book. It's only about 100 pages, but it's the meatiest read ever. And it is a crash course in the laws of the universe.
Is that where the law of attraction was?
The law of attraction is one of the laws of the universe. That's the one that everybody knows about. That's a popular one. To have a fuller grasping of the mechanics and a more, I heard, savvy utilization of what's available to you, reading and reviewing and really studying what the Kybalion presents is very beneficial for anybody who's willing to do the deep dive. And it's not a one-time read. It's a type of book that you want to make notes about and stuff like that. But when you read this book, you will understand how every religion has ever worked, every belief has ever worked, and everything on the planet works. It presents the basic laws of the universe, and it's so helpful with the mechanics. So remember I told you early on in our conversation, I wanted to understand my own shit. And so it turned me into a mind mechanic. I had to understand how I operate, how I work, and that gave me deeper understanding of how they operate and how they work and what it is. And it took me down these paths of discovery. And I have all this crazy random ass knowledge in my brain, but it all like serves great purpose, and it makes me it's part of why I present in the energy that I do. How did you describe my aura?
Powerful. That's the first thing I felt.
Yeah.
I was like, power. This is power.
So now I have a question for you. When you see aura, do you see it like claircognizantly, or is that a clairvisual thing for you?
It can be either.
Okay, so you get both. That's so freaking cool.
With yours, it was just claircognizant. I just knew. But I also felt it. And it was like a whisper too. It felt like a full auditory, like all of my senses felt activated.
That's so cool. I love that.
How do I?
Yeah. Challenge.
But no, I heard it. It was like the wind. The wind was whispering.
I love that.
But I didn't all of my senses except for like touch, I could feel your power radiating off of you.
Wow.
And it comes from, like you said, your authenticity.
That is so cool that you could perceive me like that. So, okay, that brings up another thing that crossed my mind when you were first talking about your perceptive abilities. There's something that has somewhat eluded me, but I think I know the answer because I know everything. I'm a know-it-all. And it is, there's some people in my past, before I learned how to close the gateway of control, that found me. How the fuck they found me? They were strangers, but they found me. And at that time, they had more esoteric, Gnostic, spiritual, whatever, woo-woo knowledge than I did. And so they gave me objects to siphon my energy. Yeah, that shit didn't last. Because I came into my own power, I came into my own awakening, and then, yeah, actually that dance I spoke about with my father was one of the first things that happened, most memorable things that happened to show me, like, get the fuck rid of that, it's bullshit. Like, it was so wild, the experience. That's a whole nother fucking hour-long story.
I know how they found you.
Okay, talk to me what you know.
You know how spirits are drawn to certain energies or certain places or certain things. You are ancient in the same way that you said that I was, but you have a different, you're like a calling card. The way that you attract things is more than a moth to a flame. It's similar to, you called yourself the sun? Yes. That is how it feels. You have that big Apollo energy where things will literally gravitate around you, to you. And even if I was far away, I could close my eyes if I had ever been near your presence. I can hone in on where you are. You're like a radiator almost. You radiate energy because you bring energy into this world from the other side.
Yeah.
And I feel like you know that, you've felt that, and it's a maternal thing. You have a divine femininity so powerfully woven into your, I don't know how I'm gonna do this one. So powerfully.
Just do like this.
Okay.
That should work.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Common sense.
It's okay.
But the divine femininity is so woven into your spirit that it can't be hidden.
So you're just making me think of this experience I had. One time I'm listening to, so all the readers on YouTube don't know that they're reading for me. Well, not all of them, but specific ones at specific times that I'm guided to. And real quick, matte or glossy on the bottom?
Matte on the bottom.
Okay. And so I'm listening to this reading and it's touching on so much of my life. And they were talking about how I was crowned. While I'm listening to the reading, I'm getting downloads. I got both of my dead parents sitting on both sides of me, right? And they told me to go get my mother's jade and her pendant, which is gold and pearl with diamonds. And I was to make a crown. So I did. And there's old videos where I would wear the crowns, old photos of me out there with the crown on and stuff. Well, one night I had gone out to one of the gay bars, the Phoenix, and I was sitting out on the patio with a bunch of the gay boys that I was socializing with. And this creature, for lack of a better term, came out. Immediately when I saw this creature, I did not want this creature to speak to me, to look at me, definitely not to touch me. But I knew that this creature wanted all of that. The person was dressed, well, first off, the person was probably about 6'4", tall Caucasian man, dressed very much like a biker with the black trench and the giant silver jewelries, and he did long scraggly hair. He just looked like every fucking demonistic looking creature in every dark movie you've ever seen. And he spoke to all these different people. What was so significant, oh boy, am I saying too much for YouTube? They said, nah, you protected, yeah. Some of the gay boys started having a conversation with him because he definitely was doing everything he could to insert himself into what was happening. And the conversation was, so you've been here before, what are you doing? The person verbally said, yeah, I'm moving. I got to leave tomorrow. I'm going out of town. I'm moving over here. I got a house with a lake, blah, blah, blah. That telepathic conversation I heard was, no, bitch, I got to leave town. Your fault. You came in here taking over everything. I can't be here no more. And I'm like, in my brain, having this silent conversation with self, where it's like, why is this happening? Was this with this person? And the spirit said to me, God said to me, source said to me, my higher self said to me, well, bitch, you're sitting out on the patio at the Phoenix of all places. Just think about what the Phoenix means. And you already are all the energy that you are. Fuck that light at Lexor. Now you got your crown on? You have the audacity to sit out here with your crown on and wonder how the fucking demon can find you?
A crown made of not only like jade, crystal.
No, there was no crystal. It was jade, pearl, and diamond. And gold. And all real. No fake shit. All real. This was my dead mother's gems.
Yeah. Made of those raw materials. That's going to not only amplify what you already have, but you're going to turn into a lot brighter than...
Yeah, they said that the light at the top of Luxor that can be seen from the moon ain't got shit on me that night. That was what I heard. So we left the bar because everybody was like, this guy is weird. Let's go. Let's go to the other bar. Back then, there was another gay bar right up the street called Flex. It was, 2 miles away or whatever. So we all rode the caravan over there. We're there maybe 5-10 minutes. Why? The same dude came there too. I'll always remember that. And then after that, me and Hecate had a conversation, talk about, I've been wondering what these beings are. What kind of beings? Sometimes I just want to ask a person, what are you? It's like, fuck.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I wanted to tell you that experience earlier, and it's definitely linked to how the fuck do these people find me? But I knew that. I'm like, intuitively, I knew it. Is the higher self was like, bitch, it's your energy. They could just see you. You light up everything. I'm like, okay.
That part.
So thanks for the confirmation of what we knew. Yeah. She said she's a lighthouse.
That part, yes, she is.
Hi, Hedgehog. I've never seen you here, Sonic. You know what? I got a card though. OMG. So I have this whole deck. My grandsons, they're creative. They love to draw and stuff. I had my grandsons design me a deck of custom handmade cards since they were like, I started having them draw me cards when they're like 2 and 3. Until they were probably about 5 and 6, maybe 7 and 8, they stopped drawing cards. I got so many cards. There's probably at least 400 cards to this deck now. Oh, wow. And it's all baby drawings. but I'll use him during my readings, and I channel so much fucking messages off of him. And now that there's somebody on the audience who is named I Love Sonic the Hedgehog 232, it's reminding me of one of the cards, because the boys were into Sonic. So they drew me a card, and it says, was it Sonic chasing Minecraft Sonic through the portal? And so it shows a Minecraft Sonic, and the real Sonic's back there, and there's this little gold portal, and the coins are going in. Such a cute little baby drawing.
Yeah.
And go ahead and put it in. And then the message that will always come through, your highest self is pushing you through the portal. It's time. You gotta go. You've got the coins to get in. You can't go through the portal if you're Sonic without the fucking coins. You can't take everybody and everything with you. You're gonna lose some, but some of them will reappear on the other side in another form, whatever. Anyways, yeah, this person just made me think of that card. Why I need to tell you about that too? I know somewhere in there it's known. Because
I don't always say it, but a lot of the times I let's just say it hits a lot deeper.
Yes. And then the other thing, you were like, yeah, I'm a gamer. I know it's silly, blah, blah, blah. I was just doing I've used this example so many times in different readings that I've done about in life, like on a video game, you'll hit a certain place and it becomes the checkpoint. So you don't have to go behind that. You don't have to revert behind that point anymore. You get to just start from here, moving forward. And there was a big message that came through recently about having hit a checkpoint. I'm hearing, and I love the checkpoint that I've hit personally, because it's so confirming and it's such what I wanted. Like, I've totally, all kinds of generational karma stuff has been transmuted, because I stayed, I faced the shadow. I didn't run. I just did what the heck I was told to do, what was presented, realizing that if it's showing up for me, there's reason. It's for me. It's not against me. Everything is for me. Vocabulary word, pronoia.
Pronoia?
A psychological term in which the person who has pronoia believes that the entire universe is constantly conspiring in their favor.
So it's the opposite
of paranoia.
That's what I figured, but I didn't want to assume.
Pronoia.
Pronoia.
Correct. Pronoia. We should all be touched with a bit more pronoia, because I know my life sure got better when I did get touched with some pronoia. Pronoia is everything.
Personally, I've had it my whole life, and it's worked out for me.
Yeah, baby.
Because once you understand that, that's that.
And if you just could know, like, I used to be such a woe is me, born on the wrong side of the track, nothing works out, angry, bitter bitch. I used to be. But I hated being that way. And around 21 years of age, before you even hit this planet, baby, I was like, I'm so tired of this. Something's got to change. I got to change. And little by little, it took about 21 years to feel like I actually had it down. Yeah. So much to change from a raging tripolar bitch to just being love and peace and happiness. Yeah.
See, but that's just part of your journey.
Right.
And it helps you in this life.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it helps you like a testimony.
It is. And I've heard this, so people carry shame about certain experiences from their past. And one of the things that I've heard many times over the years is, if you didn't do it then, you might do it now. So be grateful you did it then. Got it out of the way. Yeah.
My thing in this life so far has been learning from others. So learning from others' mistakes, learning from others' benefits, and learning from myself, learning from the things that I have done, not even necessarily in this life. That's why I know I've come with so much knowledge, because I've decided in this life to be that almanac, that
love,
that knowing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I don't have a lot of the struggles, and it's just because, or not necessarily struggles, but that's why I've always been on this path, I guess. Well, we've always been on this path, but that's why I was already a little further down than a lot of people. That's why I'm here at this age. And it's because we're in a time that is shifting, like you said. and my spirit knew that what was coming, and it knew that we didn't have the time to
be bullshitting.
to be bullshitting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's why somebody had to come and clear out the jungle for you, baby.
Thank you.
The machete. Bring the machete through and clear the jungle so you could just not have to learn from experience. And you know what? I was the opposite of you. I had to go out and experience it all, baby. I done it all. I've been a pimp and a hoe. I've been a drug user and a drug dealer. I've been up and down and all around. Yes. But it was all worth it.
That.
And it was able to help elevate, not for myself only, but for my entire soul collective. So years ago, they said, yeah, because you're an oversoul. I was like, oh, I can't say that on YouTube. That's a lot. That's a lot of shit that it almost sounds like egotistical to say some shit like that.
When
but
I
it
said
is
you are maternal, saying like that makes perfect sense.
Oh, I'm so maternal. My grandsons just don't ever want to leave. You're right. I am very maternal. And
you have this protective
obviously,
energy. Like you like the way that people describe the moon, that's the energy that you have, but as a sun. Like it's weird to describe because it is opposites, and your opposites are working so well for you.
yes, because they're all, you bring up a deep conversation, because they're all harmonized. So that same time that I got that download about the inflow and the outflow right after my ex had died, that later that evening coming out of that bar, I had a conversation between my human conscious mind and my ego mind and my soul mind, between the spirit and the physical, right? And I'm like, look, y'all keep arguing with each other. We're not against each other. Everybody wants me to win. This is what this one does. This is their function. This is that one's function. This is why you think you're against each other. You're not. Figure it out. And I saw them run on the street holding hands. Best friends. Shit changed.
That's what I had to do between the two parts of my mind.
Yes.
Because I'm a Cancer sun, Capricorn moon. My entire chart is in juxtaposition. It is opposition. And my life has been about, and you said this earlier, balance. Whenever you were starting, or when we were starting off, my life is about finding that balance. That's why I've always been, that's why I'm happy to be white and black and good and evil. I love those concepts because it shows that the world is a lot more gray than we thought. It is so beautifully blended, and there's good and evil and good, and it is all as it should be. And it is beautiful, and I love it.
Perfect.
Beauty and sorrow. That's my thing. Beauty and sorrow.
And it's all perfect.
And it's all perfect.
And I'm perfect. And you're perfect.
Exactly. That's one of those sayings I try to get people to understand. You are perfect exactly how you should be in this moment.
Exactly.
That's my definition of perfect.
And that is always true. And yet truth is always changing.
Exactly. That's the beauty of truth. I get so excited having these conversations. They fuel my soul.
And it's just my life. Put that one back in, baby. When you put these hand in there,
Oh,
see how that
no.
did that? It might
touched.
straighten out. If not, we're gonna, no, it didn't touch. So what happens is we gotta make sure the light hits it good. So I'm gonna have you take it from a normal resting position, and I'll have you do like this and kind of hold it up to the light on the side. And you can let these ones kind of rest. You might flare them up a little bit.
Did it do it to this one?
Let's see. Did it?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we just want to make sure it's hitting the light real good. You have lights here, 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 and here.
Okay.
Cool. And if it doesn't settle down, that's fine. We'll redo that one. It's not a big deal.
Oh no.
No, it's all perfect, baby. Autocorrect is in full effect. All the time.
Also, I wanted to say, I like your nails.
Thank you, love.
And your rings.
Thank you, love. I
Of
appreciate
course.
it.
I'm drawn to like this one on the index finger the most.
That's the one that I designed. That's 100% custom. I picked out the diamonds. I drew it, and it was made for me. Thank you.
Of course. Of course. I know I already said the nails earlier, but I wanted to reiterate them. Like, they look so good.
Thank you so much.
Once I leave, I know that you're going to take them all the way down to your skin, but...
I am. I'm going to take them all the way down. I'll still leave my little moon shape because I like the moon shape.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they gotta come down. They too long. And it's funny to hear that even come out of my mouth. So about 2 weeks before I actually took my nails off, there's a whole video of it, because I'm like, this is like human history, once in a lifetime. I mean, it was like 15 years of long nails, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I made a whole video of me taking them off, and I don't know. I never thought that I was gonna do it, but it was about 2 weeks that I kept seeing my nails just natural. Just natural, short, little baby natural nails. And I tried for a little while. I tried to wear them with no acrylic. I can't stand the way it feels when the nails get wet and they're so flexible and they're so... I'm used to the stability that the acrylic provides. And so I didn't like that at all. So then I started doing the acrylic, and then there were times where I like really missed my long nails. So I do like my pinkies long, and there's a couple times where I put nails on about your length, and then that shit, 2-3 days later, I'm taking it all off. I'm not gonna waste product and time no more. That's crazy. So I'm really happy that I have a lady who allows me to do whatever the heck I want to her nails, because she just loves everything I do, has no complaints ever, and she just don't care. She just wants her nails done. So I do that, and then
I see that creative outlet.
And I see that all of my clients that way now. I'm like, that's okay. I don't have to do my nails. I could do all their nails. Yeah. And that's how I see all my ladies. And they all have different tastes, which allows me to do all the different creative outlet, like you were saying. Yes, it is a creative outlet. Did you see how that just peeled off?
I did.
It's because it's wet underneath.
Gotcha.
That's why we had to redo it. Don't want that to happen while you're digging in the ice machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad look.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm holding it the correct way now.
Yeah, now that you're aware, that helps. Awareness helps.
Awareness does help.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you. I forget to tell people all the time.
I feel like the amount I have gotten my nails done, okay, it's only been like 5 times. But
somebody should have told you before, huh?
Somebody.
You would think.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember.
I got the master now, so.
Right, and you have to remember, most nail techs aren't in this to give you the best, longest lasting set you've ever had.
They want.
They want you to come back in a week with an issue.
Yeah.
That's what they want. I don't do that. I'm like, stay gone as long as you have to. My nails will still be there. Stack up, save up. You need a layaway plan?
That part.
You can send a little at a time if you got to. That's fine. So yeah, I operate a little bit from a different mentality than they. I literally did not take any business classes. I barely got my high school diploma. I was a great student through all my main core education, but I didn't take no college and none of that stuff. I stumbled my way through business. I had one business plan. I was going to ruin every nail client for every other nail tech for the rest of their life. That was
you've already, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, this is forever.
That was the only business plan I had. And I'm still in business since 2007. So it worked. And now the whole world is biting my style. Yeah. And that's okay. You know, imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yes, it is.
Go on ahead, babies. You can try. And what I love is me bringing my creative energy to nail industry sparked other people to come up with other ideas. Right? And try to do things. They try to do what I do so many ways. It's freaking hilarious. It makes me laugh. I'm like, oh, look at that. They're trying to make my dagger nails now. They're even selling tips to make them, and it still don't look like mine.
Listen, the amount of times I've asked for a black stiletto and they haven't done this.
Right. I'm the master.
That part.
I tell people, you have no idea who I am, and that's okay. I know who I am. And the people that were back here with me that are still with me since 2007, 2008, 2009, they know who I am. Because they sat here and watched the whole world change with me. And I used to question it. Did I really just change the whole world? Matte or black on, or matte or glossy on top, baby?
Glossy on top.
Okay. Well, let's put your white heart on first, but okay. So, yeah, I used to question it. Did I really? And this was back in about 2016, I want to say. My daughter, no, it had to be earlier than that. Let's see, what year did she, fuck, I can't even remember. Anyways, she was about 16 years old. She was working a job. I told you she's 29 now. I had to stop and think about that. That's freaking hilarious. And we went to a drive-thru at Starbucks before she went to her little after-school job working as a receptionist at State Farm. And so she said, Mommy, I want a tea from Starbucks. Okay, let's go. So take her to the drive-thru. Young lady at the drive-thru. Oh my God, how does it feel to have everybody copying your style? I was like, oh, honey, you have no idea who you're talking to. She's like, no, I remember. I used to work at Wendy's across the street from the beauty salon over there on this street and that street. And you used to come through there all the time and get this, and you would order this and that. And you used to work over there, and you had just got your nail license, and you were the only one doing nails like that. And now everyone is. This was about, so if it was about, I remember it was about 4 years after I got started. Got licensed in 2007, so that was about 2011. And about that time was when I was wondering, did I really, hold on, when the heart, you want it centered, up, down?
Let's do centered.
Okay. And so I'm like, girl, thank you for saying all that, because you remember that experience. One of these days, you're going to get paid $1 million to testify and tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That was so freaking cool. And then after that, because I was confirmed that, no, I did it. I made it happen. I got this great idea, fucking wild ass idea, which is what led to us being here. And you, my first compliment, I love your hair.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, that was the first thing you said.
I love your hair. I realized that I could change the world, because when that girl talked to me, I was taken back to being about 12 years old again, when so much significant shit happened in my life. Back then, poverty was been one of the biggest challenges I've had to break. No movements, no don't move at all. So we were shopping at the Salvation Army, where my father's cousin was a manager, and I found this brand new pair of Liz Claiborne jeans that was everything back then. They were size 4, and they were so tiny they would never fit my body. I was never a size 4, but I had a vision for them instantly as soon as I saw them. So I put them in the big giant bag that we would pay only $1 for, and I took them home because I remembered, as soon as I saw them, I visioned my mother's box. She had a box with material pieces in it that were plaids of different colors, like pastel yellow, pink, and blue, and green, and they were all plaid, different pieces of material. And as soon as I saw these jeans, I had a vision of them with holes cut in them and those colored materials in the back of the holes. So I took them home, I made them into long cutoffs, and I sewed in the patches. Now we're talking about a girl who was bullied by everybody, racially bullied by everybody in the neighborhood, on the bus, and at school. I was the only slant-eyed goop chink that they knew or had seen, so they all made sure that I knew that that's what I was. But that day, I took them shorts that I had designed, and from the morning until through the whole day of school, as soon as I got anywhere, as soon as I got on the bus, I have these one-of-a-kind designer jeans. This is what brand they are. This is what size they are. I want $45 for them. This is 1990-ish. Did it before every class, before the bell rang and it was time to sit down. I held them up, said my speech. Nobody said anything to me about them. At the end of the day, I got back on the bus, and one of the mean girls came up to me with $45. Baby, I sold them. And we all still rock that style today.
Yeah, we do.
All the fashion industry copied me. Then I was shown my sophomore year in high school, which was the year I decided that nobody was ever going to bully me. They were going to fucking respect me. And if I had to bully them, I was going to bully them. And anybody I seen them bully, I was going to defend them. And I literally changed my entire persona when I went to sophomore year. It worked. But that year, I had this great pirate shirt off the shoulder frilly thing, right? And there was this long white ribbon hanging in my room, and I didn't know what I wanted it for until that morning of picture day. I took it from the middle, put it right here, wrapped it around back, brought it up front, tied a perfect big ass bow. That same school year, choker necklaces everywhere. So realize God brought all that back to my mind like it just happened yesterday and showed me, bitch, you did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, don't move again. Don't respond either. Okay. I'm like, barely breathe. So then I was like, okay, well, how can I use this power of mine to do something that really matters to me? And I decided that I was tired of all these hater bitches sneering and talking shit behind my back and giving me the stank eye and all that shit. So how can I change it? Well, I got to be the change I want to see. Okay. I made it my intention that everywhere I went in public, I would compliment as many people as I could with an authentic compliment. And one of the things that always bothered me, having so many Black women friends since childhood, was their thinking that they needed to press their hair, get a weave, get a wig, or something like that, because I love Black women's hairstyles. I love their curly hair that will hold a pose and do shit that mine wouldn't. So that was always my favorite thing to compliment. Let me find me a Black woman with natural hairdo, and I had to go off about her hair. I fucking love your hair. I like my hair. I love your hair. I love my hair too. But your hair does shit mine will never do. So everywhere I went, I complimented them. If I couldn't compliment them on that, I would compliment them on the smile. Oh, thank you for holding the door for me. Oh, I love your bag. I love the way you put that outfit together. I love blah, blah, blah. Anything that was real and authentic, I started complimenting women left and right. And honey, that shit took off so fast. I don't know when it changed. It might have been a year or two. But I don't get nothing but love from everybody, baby, male and female. And it worked. And then you started seeing more and more women wearing their natural hair, especially Black women wearing their natural hair. And more, I even started seeing more healthier products coming out, for more natural products being presented to the public for women who wear their hair. Yeah.
My mom taught me that lesson too. One of the things she says is the way that she greets a woman, every woman that she ever sees, she says, "Hello, beautiful." That's exactly how she says it. And I took that message and I ran with it. Every person I see, I'm like, an authentic compliment. Anything that I feel drawn to say. Like, I like your nails. I like your face. Like, sometimes I'll just be like, I like your face.
Yes.
You have a nice face. And it can be like,
I love your skin tone.
Exactly.
Yes. The things that they have not heard before. The best compliment is to give somebody a compliment about something about themselves that they might not see as beautiful. They might have never heard that compliment before. They might be trying to change that shit. I always would say it before. I haven't said this in years, but the fat dude knows that he's fat. The bitch with the buck teeth knows she got buck teeth. You know what I'm saying? We know the ugly part of ourselves real well. We need somebody to point out the beautiful stuff about us, to us, because that's what we often don't know of the self.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that your mother taught you that from an early age. My mother was too wrapped up in the Bible to teach me anything about that type of stuff. She wasn't focused on that stuff.
Mine was also aggressively wrapped up in the Bible, but it didn't get bad until, I would say, the past like 6 or 7 years. That's whenever she went full, just because, traumas and the world will push you into places. But before then, whenever she was actually going through even a darker time, that's when she was the brightest.
I see.
Now it's kind of grown into a malice in her own heart. And I try to fix it. I try to help her. But I can't help someone that they don't want to be.
That part. The best thing you can do to help her, keep helping yourself and hold space for her. Try not to, they're giving me the word aggrandize or pay too much attention to those parts that you know aren't in her best interests. Make a huge deal about the parts that are in her best interest. No matter what that is, go there with it in your own mind and definitely in her presence. And it's almost like gloss over it. Gloss over it. The parts that you know, it's like it's non-beneficial for her, you, and the rest of the world, or whatever, It's harmful. It's low vibrational, whatever way you want to describe it. The best you can, and they used to say this all the time through me, and it's coming back for this message. They said cover it over in love and just gloss over it. Cover it over in love. Because if you cover it over in love, they're showing me love like a fertilizer. It must return in love. And it may be only happening on the soul level at first. But if they just show the tiniest inkling or just have the side of the mind, flight of thought that just slightly passes by, it will be more available, because when you do that, you're creating a healing about that experience between you and them. It heals you and it heals them. For them to live the healing, they have to take it out of the spirit realm and bring it into the physical. That's not your job. Your job is for you to take it and bring it into the physical and be it.
Okay.
On all planes. Yeah. So anywhere where she's holding on to those types of energies that are harmful to her or not in her best interest, hold space, do the best you can to gloss over it, cover it over in love, remembering that where she's at is perfect. Everything happens for a reason, even if we don't like it or enjoy it.
I think just recently I got out of that mindset, so
good.
Thank you for pulling me back into it.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you too, baby. Do you know what the word appreciate actually means?
Tell me.
It means to add value to. And that's what we do when we appreciate one another. We add value to. And the same thing with the ones that are the most difficult, add value to them. I have a sister. I have one full sister. Fucking love the hell out of her. She can't stand my ass. We ain't talked in probably 10 years. I love her so much. I helped her out. She didn't know. She told my daughter's aunt, who I got involved in my shenanigans, to help out in a situation where some physical help we thought might change some things. It didn't. Anyways, so my sister told my would-have-been sister-in-law, oh, I can tell this is my mom in heaven helping me. My would-have-been sister-in-law said, do you know how hard it was not to tell her, no, bitch, it's your sister helping you. I don't know why that was so relevant right now, but it totally had to come out because I felt that.
Sister helping you. No, me and my
We don't
two
talk.
sisters, we're close. We're specifically the one that called me. I'm actually staying in her house, so
Nice. That's
think,
awesome.
My sister is helping me. That's for sure.
It's good.
I think I need to that lesson right there. Just appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah, and so I told my ex sister-in-law. I said, you know, I don't give a fuck if she wants to give the credit to my mom. Let her thank my mom in heaven. That's fine. She can thank my dead mama all she wants to. I don't give a fuck, as long as she finds some fucking reason to be grateful. Please and thank you. That's all I want. Find some gratitude, baby.
Yeah.
You don't have to give me no credit. I don't need no damn credits. That's fine.
Because I know what I did.
I know what I did. I know who I am. I know who I be. Yep.
Yeah. That's...
All right, you gotta show them off to these people, whoever's been silly watching us the whole time.
So that's the top. And then... red bottom.
Yeah.
Wait, let me get the
Get
light.
the light over there
Yep.
better, yeah.
That
Matte
looks-
red on the bottom.
Woo!
Looks so sexy.
It really does. It really
Yeah.
does. And then look at that. Look at the line.
Yeah.
The line. Get into it.
Or don't.
Or just, you know, do what you want. Do what you want.
Right.
That is beautiful.
I'm glad you're happy, honey.
More than happy. I have been
Yay.
blessed by this interaction.
Yes, so have I. All right, let's put you some oil and lotion. Do like this with both hands, please, so you can catch all the benefits of my rose hip oil. And then I'll put you some lotion. You can rub it all together and feel and smell fantastic. There you go. Rub it all in, baby. All right, my loves. I don't know what you took out of this, but put some in the comment and let me know. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know how you feel. Okay, I need to figure out a title. It's probably just gonna be an interview with hold on, I know this. It was I have it in my head. And I knew it. I knew it before you texted me. I was remembering your name, and I knew it while we were talking. Tell the DJ, bring it back. I know it's it's not Zeraphim. It's something. It's got the the PHI in it too at the end.
You want it?
Yeah.
Zephaniah.
Thank you. Interview with Zephaniah. That's terrible. I remember the whole time, except for now when I want to tell you. Listen, I'm gonna take care of business and shorten these things, and I always come back. So until later. Bye.